Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast, which I think for all time I will now intro with Rules of Nature from Metal Gear Rising. Jesse knows what I'm talking about. You remember the first fight in Metal Gear Rising? That music in that fight when you fucking suplex the motherfucking Metal Gear.
Oh, I have had the song from when you fight Mistral in my head for the last week.
Oh, that's pretty good as well.
So good.
The whole album, there's an album with like 28 tracks on it, which includes the instrumentals to most of those as well.
So
it is
good.
That good.
For those who have never played Metal Gear Rising, here's how boss fights go. You start with like the background music, sort of like building, and then the second phase of the boss fight is like crazy guitar, and then the third phase they throw in the vocals from the song, and it's like, oh, and you're like, it gets so over
the fucking
top.
Blade Wolf fight where it's like, oh, this is pretty good, and then like goes to third phase, and then just kicks in with that vocal line like, leave it all behind, boom, like I feel so fantastic good. Just even being near this video game.
So emotional.
This message brought to you by XB1M13.
Yep.
No, actually not. Welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. We occasionally talk about video games. So I think that this may very well be the first time that we've actually had a couple on the podcast.
Gay?
That was immature as hell, and I shouldn't have been.
My apologies to Tumblr, who's going to get all of my.
I should not have laughed at that, but it was quite funny. I'll give you credit.
When Sam got the email asking whether or not he would be interested in being on the podcast, he was like, "They only want me on there so that they can make fun of me. Yeah. I shouldn't even go.
Yep.
I shouldn't be on there."
Yep. Well, that and it's good to have an extra British person because if we need to derail about chocolate for 30 minutes, we've got that on lockdown.
Yeah.
Although, but I'm serious, you guys. They have Terry's chocolate oranges in America.
No. They import them. These are imported. I will prove it.
They're not the same.
I'm saying I don't care if they're different. I'm saying we have them.
I think these ones actually are the same. I'm pretty sure these.
In a pink box, like ooh, for the queen.
This isn't pink. It's just the lighting. It's white. It's white.
Every
lighting was terrible.
Inspected by Her Majesty the Queen before.
Of course.
That is true. They are given the royal assent.
Chocolate orange on every single one. You were lagging just enough for me.
Lovely bit of stop motion going on right there. It's great. He's actually reconfiguring his radar dish to receive signals from the other dimension.
I was saying the only good chocolate I've discovered in America is Milk Duds.
Milk Duds, yeah. You can have Reasons as well. They're pretty good, but the thing is they import those from Germany anyway, so that doesn't make a difference.
The rest of it is terrible.
You gotta have Lindt. Like Lindt is the only way to go in this country.
And I had Skittles, and they were disgusting.
Oh god,
disgusting
little pellets of chemical sugary crap. Oh. Well, it's not even sugar. I assume it's high fructose corn syrup that's in that shit.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
We get the real stuff.
We do. Yeah, we absolutely do. You got to be really careful about what you eat in this country.
I thought the chocolate talk was supposed to be when we have a lull, not we're going to start with all the chocolate.
It was just kind of a case of getting it out of the way, I think, before we get into actual discussion. I should also point out it's a fairly light news week, so that does make things a little trickier.
I like to bring up the point that every time another person from merry old England is on, there's a conversation about chocolate. And I just want to point out that
it was
your empire has fallen very far. Very far.
It's all you have to connect on.
All you have now is like, oh, chocolate is superior.
Our chocolate is pretty good.
You guys
our
won.
Chocolate
you got us.
Highly superior.
It really, really is.
Wasn't it to stand on right now?
Jesse, you were the one who was on the double British show, wasn't it? Well, there was only the three of us. It was me, Guru, Larry, and you, and we just talked over you for 3 hours about fucking top trumps and shit like that. That was a wonderful show.
Of some sort and what was better than Hot Pockets? I was like, holy shit. I don't know.
Greg's is better than Hot Pockets by a country mile. Greg's.
It's just all food talk.
I endorse Greg's.
I introduced Dodger to a mince pie.
Oh, interesting. How did that go?
I got confused. Yeah. No, because originally I was introduced to mince as being ground beef. And I was like,
strategic troll.
You did the Christmas one.
And then we
Oh.
were talking about pies, and he was saying that in England, you don't just assume that a pie is a dessert pie because there are lots of savory pies as well.
There are, yes.
And so we were grabbing food, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to try a mince pie?" And I thought he meant a meat pie. It was not.
No.
It was filled with like tiny fruits, and I was like, "What? I'm so confused. Nothing makes sense in England."
It
I don't
is.
understand.
It is deliberately designed to confuse immigrants. Like it's like the culinary
Like
Christmas
you.
equivalent of a small landmine. That's what it
Oh
does.
yeah, no, that's
It is
Delicious
designed.
landmines, but
It
landmines
is.
are the same.
Well,
Yeah,
Sam's mom was saying that originally they were mince pies, and then for like royalty and highborn people, they would put little bits of fruit, and then they just put more and more fruit in it until it turned into it's just a fruit pie now.
Yeah, that's basically how it
that
ended
makes
up being.
sense.
Yeah,
That's
it's a little
stupid.
strange. And then there is the actual mince pie, but more often than not, you get a mince and onion pie, which is what, which is a shame because I hate onions. But
Yeah, minced beef and onion.
yeah, minced beef and
I
onion,
know
steak
I
and
know
kidney.
this.
There's a good one.
Chicken and mushroom.
Chicken and
Oh
mushroom.
God, I
Yeah.
hate kidneys
Steak and
so
ale.
much.
Well, lately they've been
All
doing
right.
those kind of sausage and bean melts at Greg's, haven't they?
They're really good though.
They put baked beans in a kind of pie thing.
Genius.
It's
Genius.
I don't know what's more annoying, you two or the fact that Dodger's still messing with that apple.
Oh
For,
my
the,
God.
for the
Damn.
last 20 minutes, Dodger has insisted that it is not only possible, but common to split an apple with your bare hands.
Stop it!
She looked up a tutorial on YouTube as to how to do this.
Seen people do it before, and then they were like, well, maybe like a ripped dude could do it. So I found a video of a girl who's my size ripping an apple in half, and I was like, I can do this. And
Yeah.
now I need to, but there are
No!
lots of dents
Your apple
all
looks
over.
pretty whole.
You've ruined the apple, like it's
There are
bruised
lots
and
of
everything.
dents everywhere, yeah.
It also looks kind of like a peach, not an apple.
Well,
That does have a peach.
that's
look to it.
definitely an apple.
That's an apple now, but then there's a peach. An apple. Turn it.
Oh,
keep
I see
going.
what you're saying.
Apple.
Peach,
Okay.
Apple.
All
No, keep
right.
going.
Peach, apple.
Peach.
peach,
Peach. Turn. The other way.
apple.
Could you eat a
Oh,
peach for
apple.
hours, Jesse?
What's happening?
Yes. Face off. Line reader.
Ah, excellent. A face-off reference in there. Wonderful.
Face off reference.
Yeah.
Face off
tastes-
and
It
Demolition
tastes
Man.
like I've been mashing it.
It's because you have! Why would you
sitting
do
there
that?
trying to
You ruined
crush
the
it.
fruit. I think you need to put that into a pie at this
It's
point.
literally like the inside is, yeah, like
Don't put
apple
that in a
sauce.
pie. Don't put that in a pie.
What did I tell
I don't
you?
want to eat that by accident.
Whatever, I'll eat it.
Oh, jeez. Welcome to the Co-optional Podcast. We occasionally talk about video games. Jesse, welcome to the show.
Jesse.
Dodger,
just-
welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Fine. Wait, can I try to mimic
God
what I'm
damn
seeing?
it, Jesse. No, don't ruin it. Jesse's already ruining it enough by his absence.
Oh God, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. We lost him. We'll hopefully get him back in a minute. Dodger, welcome to the
hello.
show. Hi.
Delighted to be back.
Yeah, you just got back from
during-
England, if I recall.
I did just get back from England. During the last podcast, when Nika and Cheeb were here, I was getting
Yes.
lots of messages about how I am a horrid host compared to them.
Apparently,
so
yeah.
I need to up my game. Apparently,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
'cause
I said this.
all I'm known for is hugging my cats and eating food and not contributing. So I'm going to attempt to be a better host from now on by doing lots of wonderful things like trying to rip apples in half.
Excellent. Good to hear.
And failing to rip apples in half.
Hey,
Yeah.
attempting.
Well, the word trying was used, so there was
Thank you.
there was definite full disclosure there under FTC guidelines, and that to me is important.
The most important thing.
The most important
Sorry,
thing is
everybody.
that we are honest with our viewers about
I'm
the fact
not
that
here
you're
to trick
attempting
you.
that apple.
Amen.
I'm not going to rip this apple in half.
Yeah. I mean, so when did you sell out to Big Apple, Dodger?
Well, I did buy a
You
huge
see what I
bag
did
of
there?
apples.
Well, that was that.
There was a Macintosh joke there. I just didn't say it.
There was also a New
I let-
York
I let-
joke. It was
Yeah,
it was
I let-
great.
let you
It
guys-
was
I let
funny
you guys
on
have that one.
several levels.
And you were like, I just bought apples.
Yeah,
I'm here to ruin jokes as well.
yeah. You
I'm
doing
going
a
to add to my list of things that I do as a host here.
100% success rate so far.
Thank you.
So, Jesse, we attempted to ask you how you were, and then you just ran out of the room. So let's
Like
try
this.
Yeah,
again.
no, I'm
Yeah,
done.
it's like,
I put my hands up. It was like, I'm out. I'm out.
Jesse,
great.
welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm doing fantastic. I got the Banner Saga this week and been playing that nonstop, and I love it.
It's a good game. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
That's what I've been doing this week. Literally this entire. And have I told you guys about Battlefield 4? Oh my god.
Oh fucking hell. Sam, welcome to the show. What's been going on?
Not a lot. I've been a bit busy traveling around this week, so I've been playing a lot of iOS games, Android games.
Like what? Which one specifically?
Hang on. Quit hijacking my order. This is procedural.
Sorry.
It's going to be done in a specific way.
Even I know what the order is. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited.
Firstly, I've got to engage him and ask him exactly what he does on his channel and to introduce himself to the audience.
Firstly, I've got to I imagine you have like a rulebook. Firstly,
I must engage the guest.
Engage the guest.
Yes.
Because otherwise they won't
Please.
talk.
I need to be engaged.
Okay.
Yeah, I must engage the guest or they will not speak, and then people will
ready.
complain that we've had another silent guest.
I'm ready
So,
to be engaged.
Sam, aka the Strippin, which is of course your channel name, which is where everyone should go. What exactly is it that you do on a regular basis on YouTube? Why should we watch you?
I don't like the. People always put the there, but I only had the because my Strippin on its own was taken.
Well, that's where the name goes. I could send them to Strippin, but if I did that, you would get 404 ever not found, which would not work out so well from a cross-promotional standpoint.
I mean, it might work out better for them, but for me, it would.
Yeah, that wouldn't go so well for you. So
I do Let's Plays, like the rest of us. I'm assuming that most of the good guests were on holiday, which is why I'm here.
Yes, that's actually why.
I mean, I'm going to be frank. I kind of forgot the podcast was going to happen because I was really busy over the weekend casting a 28-hour StarCraft 2 tournament. And I was like, oh, shit, yeah. And then I frantically emailed Lauren, so is Dodger back yet? He's like, yes, they came back. I'm like, I don't have any guests, and I can't use Krendor again because I feel he's going to wear out if we keep doing that. So,
oh, yeah. You can only have so much Krendor.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
The worst.
So I'm like, hang on a minute, hang on. Strippin came back, right? Let's use him. And then
They've asked you to be on before. You just
Here I
haven't been
am.
available.
At an undisclosed location.
Indeed.
It's not my house. In all honesty, it's not my house.
No.
I was like, we are not sharing internet. We are not going to try to both do this podcast at the same time.
That would not be a good idea.
It's not going to happen.
American security in houses is very lax. I just came in and helped myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in LA. You know, LA is known for its very welcoming
So if
attitude.
you would like to come in and help yourself, feel free to, guys. That's what that said to the crazy people. Like, I just walked in, so I mean, anyone could walk in.
So yeah, that's what you do apparently. Great. Cool. Glad we're on the same page. Excellent.
I make gaming videos and occasionally vlogs and things of that nature.
And engages in breaking and entering.
Yes. Also criminal activities, possibly larceny. Good to know. Well, on this show, we sometimes talk about video games, and coming up in the show, we'll be talking about what video games we've been playing this week, and that'll probably take the first hour, maybe even longer than that. Then we'll talk about news, which it's been a fairly light news week, all things considered. We'll then run through the releases, what exactly you can expect to buy over the next 7 or so days. And then we'll round off the show if we have time with host topics, which I don't think has ever happened in like the last 5 or 6 months. So
it's been a long time.
You keep saying it'll happen, and it never happens.
We do a really good job
one.
of stretching
I've got a host
everything
topic.
out. All right, we're going to try and fit that in there. I do actually have to leave bang on the dot at 6 p.m. EST because I have another podcast I need to go and do.
I didn't really have one. I just was going to think of one.
All right, well, you've got 2 hours to think of it, so
Okay.
get it going. If we see
Remember
steam
back in
coming
the
out of your
day
ears.
when you said that something you wanted to replace host topics with was a like quiz show?
Yeah, I haven't had the time to write it yet. I am going to actually
At the end,
do it.
you'd quiz us on the actual things that we talked about to see if we were paying attention.
No, that's more of an exam. That's not really a quiz show. It's like, welcome to the Happy Dappy Quiz Show. We're going to check if you were paying attention.
Wait, don't tell me.
What's
That's
it called
one
in
of
America?
my favorite
A
shows.
pop quiz.
Yeah.
Is that what's called?
That would be called a
Pop
pop
quiz?
quiz, yes.
Well, no, a pop quiz you don't know is happening.
Yeah.
It surprises you.
Can we
Yeah.
earn points that
Surprise.
don't matter, and whoever at the end wins?
Something like that.
What do we win?
The respect of the internet.
Pride. You win
That's
pride.
worth a lot.
It's
You know, open apples
not
with
at
your
all.
bare hands.
You gain that ability.
Yeah.
Each week you get a new ability.
New
and
apple.
you can use that
So you
in
have to
life.
win. You have to win, Dodger, 'cause then you can break an apple in half.
You absolutely
to win.
do.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Indeed.
That's all it takes.
Let's talk about some video games, shall we?
She will do anything.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
All
in.
right. Dodger, what have you been playing this week? I imagine it was something mobile.
I mean, yeah, I played a lot of Zookeeper Battle. Faux show. I also played Cat Lateral Damage.
Lateral Damage?
It's not even a game. That is a flash.
I can't tell you how many people tweeted me being like, you have to play Cat Lateral Damage.
Destructive Cat Simulator. Oh, Uber Hacksaw Nova apparently did a video on this, which is convenient because that means I'm going to steal it.
In a bedroom, and you have to throw things on the ground. That's the game.
Oh, yes.
Nonsense.
Oh, never mind. There's face cam on it. We can't use that.
I don't know if play is the right word to use.
Nonsense.
You do play it. There's like win conditions and whatnot, but it was literally, it took me 10 minutes to win, and then I was like, there's no point to playing this again. Once you win, there's nothing to go, because there's only one zone right now. It's an alpha. There's only one zone right now, and like you get book combos. So like you knock all the books off in a row and you get book combos. And I was like, cool, I got all the book combos. And then I entertained myself for a while trying to get all of the hangers off of the rod.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, I'm good. I did all the things I set out to do.
It does seem like a fairly bad idea to release a game like this in alpha, because I think people will get very, very tired of the novelty incredibly quickly.
Well, yeah, it was originally a Flash game. It was part of a game jam. And then
that makes sense.
They decided to turn it into a full game. So there are like more modes coming and things like that. But for now, the only thing you can play is like, here's a bedroom and you're a cat. You have 2 minutes.
Knock shit over.
Knock everything over. Yeah.
It is a great shitty game. There's no... I don't understand the point of like, we're gonna make a game where you're a cat and you just knock stuff over. That's not exciting at all.
I'm trying to figure out how exactly Uber Hacksaw Nova spent 12 minutes in this game. Like, when
I don't know any cats that even do that. Doesn't even make sense.
Not specifically.
Oh, my cats do.
Are you suggesting that your cat
Just
immersion has been ruined?
Just like get on things and like knock them over. Like they just want to paw at it, but they always knock it off the frickin' table every time.
Are you absolutely sure they just want to pour at it, or are they actually maliciously knocking shit over?
Smash the glass.
Smashed a glass this morning. I woke up to a glass shattering this morning, and I was like, cats! I like to think that was malicious, but no, typically when it's just like a pencil, they're like, this is interesting, even though they've seen a million pencils. I don't know what's wrong with cats. I love them still, but...
Thanks to AI chest breach for that footage, by the way.
That's Cat Lateral Damage.
Thanks.
Played that.
Thank you.
That's a thing.
We played the new Towerfall build. And that's awesome.
Is that the one that's coming for PC?
Yes.
What's
PC and PS4.
Okay, what's the difference? What's it got?
So, way more quests. Now quest mode has been fleshed out. All of the archers are in the game, but you have to unlock them.
Okay.
So, right now, trying to figure out how to unlock all of the archers, because
was it microtransaction based before on Ouya?
No.
Okay.
No, there's never been microtransactions involved at all.
No.
But they've been developing. Matt's been developing all of the different archers like over time.
Right.
And so now this is the first beta build that's had all of the archers in the game.
Okay.
But you don't, for the first time, you don't just get them. You have to unlock them. So we're trying to figure out what areas of the game unlock which characters. So like there are quests, there are the little challenge games. There's a new zone that has, so there are already bomb arrows, but now there are super bomb arrows. And I don't know how to predict those at all because they are huge explosions and I keep getting killed by them. But the biggest part is that there's now a ghost mode where when you get killed, you turn into a ghost. And
is this like the ghost in Spelunky where you blow on people? Or?
Yeah, except it's not like cooperative, right? You're like trying to kill other people as a ghost. So you get turned into a ghost, and obviously you don't have to play with this. This is a mode that you can turn on or off. But when you get shot, you turn into a ghost. You can then, if you touch somebody, they die, and you get that kill. So if you're playing headhunters, like that counts as a kill toward your headhunter score. But
you just touch them? That seems a bit excessive.
Yeah, you just touch them, but you're very slow.
Oh, okay.
And if they kill you as a ghost, they can shoot your ghost self, and you're gone from the game entirely. You're gone from that round.
They can boot you as well.
Yeah, they can jump on your head. They can shoot you the same ways that you kill somebody if they're alive. But if they kill your ghost self, they don't get a kill. Right. So like your ghost version is another shot at getting more kills.
Okay.
But like in Last Man Standing, you're not a last man standing if you're like the last ghost alive or anything like that. It only affects headhunters, really.
I suppose it's a really nice way of dealing with the problem of maybe a standoff between the two remaining players.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I've seen Ghostbusters.
A lot of those kind of elimination games. There was one I was playing, which is part of a mod for StarCraft 2 called Reno Party. So it's a bunch of little mini games. And there's one, I can't remember the name of it specifically, but you're all these Templar, and you have to use these spells to push the guys off the level. Yeah. So the ideal combo is there's this AoE explosion that pushes them in the air, and then you fire just as they're coming down to propel them off the level and knock them off there. And that's how it works. But the problem is that the last two takes fucking forever to actually end. And I think that's actually a design fault with a lot of those knockout games like that needs to be resolved by having some kind of mechanic in there that allows you to break that stalemate.
Yeah, it's cool because like you're trying to split your attention between the real person that you're trying to kill and the ghost that could potentially kill you, but if you focus on that ghost, you don't get a kill out of it, right? So like there's this weird distraction element, and also when you're playing teams, it's really cool because if you die ahead of time, you don't immediately feel like you've let down the whole team because you have the potential to either distract or still kill somebody. But again, you're very slow. So it's you have to be strategic, but you get that second shot, which is nice.
Towerfall's pretty good at like not having that one-on-one problem anyway, because it has when it gets down to one-on-one,
it has
poison fog that comes in from the sides, and so it really forces you into a tiny zone to fight. But,
do you know if what I've heard that the PC version will not have online play is true?
Yes,
I
it's
don't
true.
know. Is it true?
Yeah.
That's really fucking dumb.
I know that they are like...
it to be an offline multiplayer game.
I mean, I think that's the best way to play it.
Yeah.
It's the best way to play it.
And I get that, and it's cool that it's there, but you offer it as an option. It was like Samurai Gun, right? We played Samurai Gun for WTF Is. Myself and the missus played a bit. No, well, we had two problems with it. One, the game's really lacking in mechanics. Like, it's incredibly bare bones. Compared to something like Towerfall, it's lacking all sorts of stuff. It is just a little arena. You've got a gun and a sword. There's a parry mechanic. There's a fire bullets back at the enemy by hitting them with the sword mechanic, and that's kind of about it, yeah? And if it had online play, it would have been barely acceptable. But it didn't. So it was completely unacceptable. Like, there's no way you'd drop $15 on an offline-only multiplayer game for a PC. You're out of your mind. Right. Towerfall seems like it's in a similar kind of situation.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I play it so much, but I know a lot of people like that live near me that play it. So I don't have that problem, but I can see that being a problem for somebody, definitely.
I don't. I don't have people like that. Mm-hmm. So that's a real problem.
You're not missing anything. You'll be fine.
I had that problem with Smash Bros, the first Melee on the GameCube. I loved playing it, but I didn't have any friends with it. I used to have to travel into London to meet other people and play the game because you couldn't play online.
Totally, yeah. And even... Brawl had online as well, didn't it? And of course, the other Smash Bros. Will have online. It's definitely possible to do. And obviously, it's better on the couch, but at least give the option to play online. I think the only way to really argue otherwise that you should keep these games offline is if a reviewer is dumb enough, or even just the general public is dumb enough, to just play truly online and then complain that the online version is not as good as it should be. And maybe that's a concern of the devs. I know, obviously, making online modes also cost a lot of money. But if you outright say this game is supposed to be played on the couch, I refuse to add online, and you actually have the money and the resources to do it, then I think you're a goddamn idiot. I really do.
I mean, he has added a bunch of stuff that you can do on your own.
Single player stuff?
Yeah, like all the quest modes are very fleshed out now. Okay. Really, really fun and really challenging. Cool. And they have different levels of difficulty. Yeah, and you can two-player co-op that.
That I like as well, because it's more likely you've got someone else in your house you can play with. But having like 4 people
like
and
a team,
that's unlikely,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the quests are awesome. I think they're super cool. And are they called challenge levels? What are they called?
Time trials?
Yeah. The time trials are another thing that you can do without needing multiplayer, where it's just like shoot all these things in a certain amount of time.
They have like straw dummies hanging from the ceilings, and you have a certain amount of time to successfully hit all the dummies. And
I mean, that seems like a nice kind of ancillary mode for someone that already enjoys Towerfall. The problem is, if you can't play with friends, you're not going to enjoy Towerfall in the first place.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in a few years, when, if Steam machines are a bit more common, then we might see more of that, but it makes more sense on the Ouya, because, it's the most portable fucking thing, a tiny little block you can take anywhere and play Towerfall with.
Right.
It doesn't make sense on a PC that, I can barely even lift my case, let alone move it into another room.
That is
especially
true.
when it's come into Steam as well. It would just be so easy.
Well, I mean, there is another argument you could make that I don't know if it would work for Towerfall, but I actually got access to the Steam in-home streaming beta. It doesn't work yet, so I just blocked out your face with Steam. I tried to use it. It detected that my wife had logged into my account on another machine, which is cool because it didn't actually kick me out in the process. And then I gained an additional option on top of all my games, which, where it usually says play, that actually became a drop-down. And you could pick stream to and then the machine name. And you could there was also another option, which is install game to this machine remotely. So that's something I think you can already do that with the mobile app, but it let you install the game, and it actually removed it from your machine as well when it did it, which is actually kind of annoying. But it seems like maybe you could do Towerfall with that. You can stream it to your TV in some way, but then you'd still need a small box to receive that. You can't stream it direct to your TV. It's streaming from PC to PC. And let's be frank, any PC is powerful enough to run Towerfall. Come on.
Well, they're still trying to iron out streaming because so far, if you try and stream anything in Towerfall, the frame rate drops to like 2 or 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's really bad.
What, actually,
like you're playing in slow motion.
Is that on the PC version when you're trying to?
Yeah. It happened on my stream.
Windowed,
it happened on the Yogscast streams.
Any capture card.
Anytime you played it, it was just like, I was like, this is the worst.
That's a problem, yeah.
It's a big problem.
All right,
so
well,
hopefully
gotta get that shit sorted.
He's working on that.
Yeah, I love the idea of Towerfall. It seems really, really fun. I have barely had the chance to play it. What I did play of it, I enjoyed, but without an online multiplayer mode, I'm not going to have the opportunity to really play it all that often, so it's a hard sell, and I think it's going to be a hard sell for a lot of people on PC. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Even a game like Nidhogg, which is a 2-player game, actually did have an online multiplayer mode, which I think is, if it didn't have that, there's no way I'd say you should buy it $15,
Yeah.
What else did you play?
Yeah. Did I play anything else? I played the Peppa Pig mobile game, where you make a little story out of Peppa Pig screenshots. That was pretty great. Played that with Sam's nephew. There wasn't really much else. Yeah. So it was mostly, since I've gotten back, Cat Lateral Damage, Tower Fall, and then Always Remember Me and stuff like that for my channel. But,
Fair enough. Strippin, what have you been playing?
I have been playing some DayZ Alpha.
Ah, okay. How's that going?
Well, I'm taking advantage of the fact that there's not a lot of zombies at the moment, but it's actually just turned in. It's like Armor, just with the odd zombie at the moment, because they've taken out all the zombies to work on the alpha bugs. So there are zombies, but they're very few and far between. So it's actually just an FPS survival game at the moment, which is turning out to be pretty fun. So I'm playing that. I got addicted to Zookeeper Battle because of you. Yeah, you. That's been okay, but I've actually been playing a lot of Plants vs Zombies because you actually have to be connected online to play Zookeeper Battle, which is terrible. So you can play. I've completed Plants vs Zombies this week, 2, which was amazing. Been playing a lot of Chivalry Deadliest Warrior as well. I'm enjoying the Spartan.
I never really enjoyed the Spartan too much. He's a little bit too pokey.
I have a tendency to immediately throw the spear and just use a sword, though, because it's way more fun than poking.
The thing is, if you do that, you're just then a worse Viking, surely.
But you have kind of.
You do have a bigger shield, but, I think as a Viking, you've got way more of an edge in that situation if
when you get to a higher
away.
level, there's a sword that kills anyone in 2 hits. It's like a very, very heavy one-handed sword. And so it tends to shred Vikings. And also, the good thing about Spartans is you can pick up spears off the floor. So I've been getting quite good at Yeah, so I've been getting quite
know
good
you could do
at
that.
killing someone with a spear and then just pulling it out of them and then just throwing it again. And then after you kill someone else, you just go walk over and pick it up. So you kind of have that versatility. But yeah, it is a worse Viking, but a cooler looking Viking because you're shirtless.
Indeed.
Yes. I'm an admirer of the male form.
Okay.
Jesse agrees.
This is what we
Jesse
actually
agrees.
learn is the couple on the podcast is actually Jesse and Strippin.
It's true. It's true. They love each other.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing pretty much. Been a bit busy this week, so I haven't been playing as much as I normally do. Try and squeeze some Battlefield 4 in whenever I can.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Yeah,
Love that game.
dog.
Have they
Yeah,
fixed that
dog.
game yet, or is it still broken as shit?
It's great, TB. Stop shitting on it.
It's amazing.
Fantastic.
It's broken yet amazing.
It's
I'm
fantastic.
really anticipating Titanfall, so I'm kind of at the moment I'm just filling until Destiny and Titanfall because that's going to occupy my life a lot.
Which is interesting because Titanfall is a very, very different game from any of the Battlefields. You know, we're talking about a 6 versus 6 with some AI soldiers, basically creeps on the map, versus a full 64-player war.
That's great.
You're saying that
Yeah.
a 6v6 is great, but you play a 64-player Battlefield, Jesse?
Yeah, but I would say 60 of those 64 don't know what the fuck they're doing, and it pisses me off. I'm to the point where I'm the guy who's getting. Before I was the guy who's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm the guy who's mad. I mean, it pisses
You've turned
me
to the
off.
dark side. You've turned to the dark side
I'm
of
like,
Battlefield 4.
what are you doing? Yes, when you
You're
get
Sith.
into the top, when you're consistently in the top 5 now, you enter a new world that's like, what are the rest of you doing? There are 30 people in this game. You don't know what you're doing. Why are you 1-16? Just get out. Just
What I've
leave.
done is I've stopped playing 64-man altogether, and the most I play is 32 or 16. And because that way I have
Yeah.
a much bigger influence on the outcome of the game, I can like carry my team if I'm on a small man map as opposed to like a 64 man.
Like,
And
ticket drain
TV
maps with 64 players are
Yeah.
hugely frustrating, because you see the tickets just, like, going down as people do stupid shit. It's like, I'm not dying, but I'm going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
But
You're all feeding.
Like,
You're feeders.
Pretty much, yeah.
Stop it.
people give you so much shit for playing AA, but that's one of the few things in the game that helps determine the outcome of a battle. Like, you in an AA by yourself, if you shoot down every single plane or helicopter or whatever, you can change the course of the battle because they can't get around the map because you're shooting them down. So even though people are like, what an asshole, you're just hiding and shooting us down. Damn right I am, but you can't fly across the map and take,
Pretty much.
our-
Well, if the
our
opposing
aim
team
position.
is saying that, then that means the opposing team is fucking, jelly. It's really as simple as that.
Yes,
If your
it's
team's
great.
saying that, they're morons. Like, okay, this is probably the most efficient use of one person that you can make. Stick you in an AA, you're probably not going to die. You shoot down all planes, shoot down all transport helicopters and the attack helicopters. That means that all of your air assets, like the stuff that the commander brings in, like the gunship and the UAVs, they're secure. They can't be shot down. So that puts you in a really good position.
It's all about people knowing what they're supposed to be doing, and it's infuriating because out of 64 people, even people who are like, I'm rank 101, and they're still awful. You're like, you just fucking play a lot. You're not good. Get out of here. Go live your life. No, it's infuriating.
32-man is so
that-
much better because you have 3 capture points, and if you can hold down 1 capture point of 3 on your own, win. You've won.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
why I'm excited. Titanfall, I'm okay. I'm ready for that. I'm ready
Titanfall
for. Yeah,
Titanfall
I've played a
I don't
lot of
like
Titanfall
games like
already,
Battlefield
and
or
it is
anything
amazing.
like that. And Titanfall sounds amazing.
I just want to
So
jump.
great.
I don't want to jump in a mech. I want to jump on someone else's and shoot his
nail
ass.
it.
And be like, what up,
Yeah.
bitch? I killed you and your robot. I want that so
And
bad.
then just like jetpack away.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm more interested in. It's nice to be able to get in a mech and stomp around, but at the end of the day, I come from the line of people, the grand line, going back generations and generations that love Mech Warrior, and it's kind of over anything else that isn't Mech Warrior. And this isn't Mech
I was a
Warrior.
Mech Warrior baby.
Yeah, the way that the mechs handle in Titanfall seems to be more like just a big person,
Yeah, have you
that's
played it?
that's my feel. And I'm not so keen on that. But I do love the idea of screwing with them because it will inflict unholy amounts of nerd rage. It'd be great.
They designed the robots to just be an extension of the actual human classes.
yeah,
They're
that was
you're just
my
a giant
future.
version of yourself.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What
It's like in the future. It's like the future. How robots aren't going to be, they'll be like big people.
Yeah, that was my impression, the kind of big exoskeleton things, which is fine. You know, I mean, there's games that do that pretty well, but it's not really what I'm not that interested in it. I'm way more interested in wrecking those things. I want to specialize particularly in wrecking Titans. It would be
I'm
fun.
really interested in like not so much the mechs, but like the mobility aspect, and also because there's one of the classes, just their primary weapon is a pistol that locks onto up to 6 people at once.
Wow.
And just stuff like that.
What?
So basically, you can't fire your gun. You have to like lock on to 6 people, and then if you press fire, you shoot them all.
Okay.
That's
Locked on.
fantastic.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
but
cool.
now obviously you have to survive long enough to lock onto those people without getting shot in the face. But like, so it's very like mobility intensive. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the whole run and gun stuff. I'm a Mirror's Edge lover as well, so.
The problem. Oh,
No, Jesse, go. By all means.
I was gonna say the problem with stuff like that is there.
Yes.
it's-
Think of your words.
It's sort of. Thanks, Mom. Where
Well,
there are a lot of weapons that you're like, wow, that's a great weapon. That'd be a lot of fun to play with. But using it's not feasible. Like, it sounds cool. It's like, we're gonna throw in a weapon that shoots sound waves and it makes the person explode, right? But it's probably so slow and so stupid that no one's like, all these great ideas people come up with that never get used. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in video games. Like, yeah, no, it's a gun that fires a microwave blast and it fries your internal organs, right? But it takes 25 minutes to charge. Like, why the hell would you make that? It
Can I
sounds
just say, for the record, I want to remind everybody that Jesse loves Saints Row. The game
here's
is
the
filled
difference.
with useless, weird weapons.
But you can use it. But you can use in Saints Row. You can make people dubstep until they explode. If you put that in a game like Battlefield, and you're like started shooting a dubstep gun, which would be amazing, by the way, and people started like dubstepping, they would just shoot you in the face with like a pistol. Like there's like they wouldn't.
They're dubstepping too hard. They can't.
Someone would get that. I played Payday 2. I know that when you're electrocuted, you can still shoot. I know how it works, so it's possible.
It's true.
I heard Jesse say shoot, and then I immediately heard what sounded like a gunshot, a quick
Right, me
pause.
too.
And then,
And I was like,
Oh, that was.
Is it that?
I mean, what can I say? I live in the ghetto, guys. In the
Yes, no
ghetto.
The ghetto.
Ghetto.
in the gate.
I'm sorry, what? What the fuck is going on?
It's Elvis. You wouldn't get it.
Apparently
Also,
not.
South Park. It's Elvis / South Park.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess that's true.
That's double not getting it.
There's
Jesse,
amazing. There's
okay.
actually an amazing weapon in Titanfall. One of the robots has where you can. It's like a shield, and it catches all the rockets fired at you.
Oh, and then you can fire 'em
fires
back.
them and
Yeah.
fires them back.
So
And
it's
it is
Magneto.
amazing. Yeah.
They basically
You're-
they saw
Magneto.
X-Men
You
and
are
they were like, "Oh,
Robo
shit, that's a good
Magneto.
idea."
yeah.
Sounds about right.
That is a great idea, though.
And Destiny, obviously, I'm really looking forward to Destiny. But that's self-explanatory.
That wasn't for you guys. That was for the viewers.
Okay.
Keep going.
I just,
Holy shit, we deal with this. I thought I deal with this a lot, but I can't even speak right. You know what? Fuck it. I'm sorry.
Jesse, have you been playing anything else this week? Or is that it?
I mean, I played Banner Saga, and then I told you guys that I look. I'm not proud of it, but all this talk about SimCity, I started playing it again.
Oh God, no! Why?
No.
Cause I just got bored. I got bored. Okay.
You got bored, so you
help it.
bored yourself.
So you played one of the worst games of last year. All right.
It's legit tactic.
Help it. It was.
I gave you a copy of Day One
I-
Gary's Incident if you like. You can bore yourself with that.
We were talking about it, and I want to play it some more. and I
Okay, and
played it, and I-
all right, what happened? What happened when you played it?
I made a town that was a casino town, and then it required a lot of power, so I built power plants, and then it was like you need more residents in your town, so I made more resident stuff. But it was a casino town, so all I wanted was people to come to my town. So I built tourism stuff, but then the tourists became violent, and I had to build police stuff. And by the time I built all my police stuff, I was running out of money, and then I had to get more people to move to my town. But there was no room in my town, so I had to tear down some industrial stuff. But then they wanted more work, and I was like, go fucking work at the casino. But they wouldn't. So then I had to build more power plants because suddenly there's not enough fucking power. And then I gave up because I hate that game.
Yep, that sounds like SimCity.
That sounds like everyone's experience
It's
with
like
SimCity.
thousands of people watching you just nodding. Like, yep.
Like,
Yep, that's sure SimCity, all right.
Happened
get
to
that
me.
feel.
So I played it and then gave up. I was like, well, this is all. And I felt bad because I joined someone's like perfect community. They had like this island chain, and everyone's town was like, I guess they have a new future
It's like Pleasantville.
expansion DLC or something. So everyone has like futuristic cities, and then there's my little shitty city that's just all casinos and poor housing, just like the lowest casinos. And I'm like, this is great. It's just like Vegas. And then people would come to my town. But the problem is like once you're like, well, now I'm going to expand, the game just like, good, make your streets better. And then it just starts, you start losing money by like thousands an hour. And you're like, what did I do? I just wanted to make your streets better. And they're
then
like,
it just subtly suggests you raise your taxes.
And then when you raise the
Subtle,
taxes,
subtle.
all the rich people
Little bit more.
leave. And it's like, well, I need them to run my damn town. Or else I have no money coming in. And they're like, sorry, asshole. It's the worst. I hate that game so much. I hate it so much. And I thought...
You didn't bother picking up Cities of Tomorrow, I assume.
No. But when you join a game where someone has Cities of Tomorrow, it says, this person has Cities of Tomorrow, you will reap the benefits. I was like, oh, cool. So if you have like solar power, there's a little thing you can put down that's like, it connects you to SciTech or whatever the hell the thing is. The problem is it also says like when you're connected, they run. It's awful.
Sorry, what?
That doesn't.
Can
I don't
you
want-
repeat that? Your
missed the
connection is
important
terrible
message.
today. Yeah.
So, like SciTech, or whatever it's called, when they connect, everything has to be connected to their main hub, and I'm like, that's an in-game like disaster waiting to happen. Like it's gonna be like the robots have taken over. I don't want that shit. So I'm like, I'm not connecting to you.
So
And then I
good.
did because I needed the power, and it was like, sorry, you have no SciTech connection. I was like, you just told me I did. So I don't like
SimCity always finds a way to ruin you. It'd be so funny if someone did finally manage to make the perfect future city, and then they just like did a Skynet and just made sure
The
that they
whole
lost
thing,
everything.
glassed it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So
yeah.
I played it because I was bored, and then I realized how much I hated it.
You regret it, yeah, and rightfully
Yeah.
so. Don't play SimCity. It's fucking terrible. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are
Play
you
Long
gonna do?
Live the Queen instead.
Oh, that game.
Shouldn't play that either.
Rather not grow a vagina
And then have it killed.
and then have it killed by one of my courtesans and or
Yeah.
fellow.
You ate chocolate.
You're a
Die.
princess with courtesans.
What can I say? I likes what I likes.
You know? You gotta have
Do it
pride.
right. Gonna do it right.
That's how I do.
Man.
Quite.
And then Banner
I
Saga.
ha-
That's pretty much
I
it.
have-
Banner Saga. Banner Saga's pretty good. I like that game a lot. I've been enjoying it. I haven't finished it yet. I've been really busy over the weekend with StarCraft casting, but I want to finish that game.
Banner Saga's fun. I'm more curious. The more I play it, the more I'm curious about the choices I could have made.
Yeah.
In discussions
yeah.
and what that would have done. Because I'm like, all right, I did that. But there were 3 other choices I could have made there, and I feel like one of them could have been better.
It bears a
But-
second playthrough, I think, for that reason. And that's kind of what keeps it going. I like the battle system, actually. I hated the battle system when I played Banner Saga Factions, which is the multiplayer version of it, because it was too fucking slow. But against the AI, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I've never played them. But I've heard good things.
It's a really good game. It's like a mixture of the Oregon Trail with kind of a tactical RPG, and there's Vikings and giants.
Everyone's like,
Oh wow.
welcome. Oh yeah, the giants. Oh my god, it's so good. The accents are the best though. They're like, what are you doing here? You've come to fight me. It's great.
The
Wait,
Swedish,
so it's like-
Swedish giants.
During our
Is it-
stream, I absolutely ruined it by making my best Scandinavian accent. My name is Gert, and I'm the wind herder.
It's wonderful. You call me the Scrivener.
Follow.
It's kind of good. It's kind of good. It's not that bad.
There's actually not that much voice acting in the game. Yes.
Since you said that it's like Oregon Trail, do you mean like the mechanic of you start in one place and you're trying to live long enough to get to the next place? Okay.
Yes.
I was curious to know like what element of Oregon Trail we're talking about.
You literally see the caravan with this big fucking banner kind of coming along, and there's actual like supplies. Like if you run out of supplies, you're going to be in trouble. There's like morale, which is a factor, and also the number of soldiers that you have is relevant to certain encounters, but the actual battles are usually done with your heroes, who are like separate characters that level up and can be given equipment and skills. The character customization is kind of weak. I think there's not that much of it, which is a little disappointing. I would have liked to see a little more than just, hey, upgrade a couple of stats, your one skill will upgrade every few levels, and you can have one item. And that's pretty much it.
It's pretty limited, yeah.
It is pretty limited. I'd like to have seen a lot more character customization there. But the choices that you make are very interesting. They obviously have an impact. And the graphical style is just beautiful. It's a really nice rotoscoped animation. And some awesome stories. So
I'm
gonna look it up.
There's
cool.
Yeah, it goes through many different, like, it tells you right at the beginning, like, look, there are many characters in this.
Yeah.
And each of them has their own storyline, and it's actually really well put together, and it's fantastic. It's a lot of damn fun. I have the same thing I have while playing other games of the same vein, where it's like, so you're gonna go into battle and you have your heroes, so don't let any of them die. I'm like, I don't want to let you die.
They just
but
take
it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it really
there's
doesn't
no
matter.
permadeath. Yeah, so it doesn't really make a blind bit of difference, but yeah, the battle system is really enjoyable. Yeah. I like it a lot.
It's in everything you do it's also choice based, so it has a little bit of the, this is a stretch, but I guess like the Walking Dead style, where it's like your choices affect what you do.
Yes.
And so it's like it's a weird multi-level game that as time goes on, it keeps unfurling more and more depth to the game. And I was like, oh shit, okay, this is good. So you're making choices, you're battling in like strategic battles, and then you're also doing an Oregon Trail style where you just have to like we are going to this location, and it's like day one. Boop, 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 boop,
yeah, and you see a little caravan going along with a giant banner. It's really, really cool. And the problems I got with that game, apparently it really ends very abruptly. And that's so that might disappoint people. It doesn't necessarily tie all the threads up. And also the options, like there aren't any. Like that you can't even put captions on for the voice acting, which is just dumb as bricks. You can't change the volume of the music independently of the sound effects. You can either turn them on or off. The game has the frame rate. There's a little bit of frame rate variance, nothing really too serious, but
you know what it feels like? It feels like it was or it will be an iPad game.
Yes, yeah, because the way the interface works reminds me of touch controls, and also like the general space of things. Yeah. Seems like, you know what, this could be on an iPad. This was almost possibly designed to be run on an iPad, and there's just these weird interface choices, like clicking below your character to bring up an action menu, when that could all just be on the side. There's no tooltips for anything. Actually, never mind, there are tooltips, but I don't believe they hover over tooltips. But
yeah, like if you want to double move, if you want to move someone to one location, you click, and then you click where you want them to move, and then you click it again in order to move them there, or you can click another location and they like go like an L shape or whatever. Yeah. It's very touchscreen, like, oh, I'm gonna touch here and touch here and touch. It feels like this would be a really great iPad game.
Yeah, I have no doubt that it would be.
I'm one of those people that like reloaded my Fire Emblem game thousands of times.
Yeah,
so I completed hard.
This is right up your alley.
Any character dying. Is that going to be a problem? Am I going to be one?
You'll be fine. Characters don't die. Yeah. They take injuries, brilliant. So if you end up, you have to let them recover. So that means that if they get into a fight, they're going to be reduced in strength. But that's fine. You don't, as far as I'm pretty sure you can have characters die, but they're not in battles. It'll happen in events. So
I see.
Relief.
There's early on the human prince gets his ass kicked in a battle, like right away. And then at the end, he's in a cutscene. So I thought he was dead. I was like, cool. He's like, thanks for saving me, dickwads. And I was like, oh, okay.
Never mind then.
All right. So yeah, it's based on the number of guys you have in your army and people you collect and stuff along the way.
There's some pretty cool decisions. There's no morality bar or anything like that. Some of the stuff you do might seem like the wrong thing to do, but in Viking culture, it was the right thing to do, and that's how you got your morale up, you know? So
plus if you're a giant, in the beginning of the game you play as a giant, which is a varl, and you're just a badass.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's a lot of fun.
It's a good game, especially.
It sounds really fun. It looks beautiful. I looked it up. While you guys
gorgeous.
were talking.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous game.
Yeah, it's the game's anywhere between about 6 to 10 hours, and it definitely bears a second playthrough. So for me, I think that's good enough value. There is the multiplayer component, but funnily enough, that's actually a separate application that came out months ago. It's technically a free-to-play game, but really, actually, if you buy stuff, you lose in that game, because whenever if you buy, say, a more powerful soldier, it actually then matches you up against people that have the same kind of stuff, and that results in you getting crushed by people that legitimately got those and have hundreds of games on you. So if you buy that stuff, you are actually an idiot. So it's really pay to lose as opposed to pay to win. It's not what you want to be doing. But as I say, the multiplayer component for me was it was too slow. I disliked it greatly. I prefer just playing combat against the AI. It's quicker.
Cool. Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah, Banner Saga's pretty good.
It's a lot of fun.
It is. I haven't really been playing too much this week other than just bits of Metal Gear Rising here and there, just kind of slowly making my way through that. So good. So very good.
When did that come out?
It came out last year, but it came out on PC about a week ago. They actually did a PC release of it, so I've been playing it on PC.
They threw it straight in the Steam sale as well, so...
It's so good.
Yeah, they made it quite cheap, which was pretty cool.
I cannot stress how much fun that game is.
So much fun.
It's so much fun. It is the best, like, spectacle fighter. It's just so...
On PC, yeah. I think there are better spectacle fighters, funnily enough, made by the same people. Like, I think Bayonetta is a better game, personally, but that's not on PC, so... You know, what are you going to do?
It does have Bayonetta moments, too, that are just really over the top still, and you're like,
does.
oh, you...
I love the start of the second act where he's talking about going into that city inconspicuous. He's wearing this massive fucking Mexican hat and a poncho. It's like, don't worry, I've got this.
That episode just uploaded, and it's my favorite part is that when you're in the sewer, you meet a little like Guyanese boy, but it's so borderline racist because he's speaking broken English, but they subtitle his broken English. So he says one thing that's pure English, and they have a subtitle underneath it, and it's like, Is this racist? I don't know what's going on right now. Because he's basically Jar Jar Binks. He's like, you also saved me, man. I'm so happy to see you. And it's just like, you have saved me. I am very happy to see you. It's like, oh no. Oh no, I don't know what I feel.
If I recall correctly, there was actually some controversy around the time about that guy. Because the fact that, I can't remember. I think, what is it specifically? What race
he was a drug baron, drug smuggler.
He's speaking like a Creole accent, and he's from Guyana,
it's Guyana, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got this weird like Creole accent, so you can understand what he's saying, but he's saying it very broken, and he's like, oh man, so you're like, because he sees you're a ninja, so he talks to you like you're a Ninja Turtle. He's like, go ninja, go.
Yeah.
He's all like,
his name is George, by the way. Yeah.
From George, he's like.
Yeah,
like
he's
Georgetown,
a Guianan
like your
boy.
Presidents. It's like, no.
Yeah, also spoke Guyanese Creole, an English-based Creole language. So that's why they put that. There was a bit of controversy, if I recall correctly, around that, because they said, people should have just understand this. This is racist or whatever. From what I heard from people that are actually from Guyana, I do have a few viewers from that. They were just really happy to see Guianan representation.
I was gonna say,
and there was like, no, totally.
Nice.
We can absolutely see why some people would be confused by that dialect.
Especially if English isn't your first language. Like most Swedish people learn from American TV, and if they heard the accent, they'd be like, wouldn't know what's going on. That's why all Swedish people speak English in American accents like dummies.
It's just a very
Strippin hates Sweden. Confirmed.
Scene.
I just hate Swedish when they're like, hey man, I'm like, well, you live next to England. You could just learn from us. It's fine, and then you could be normal.
Then make more good TV shows.
And all they do is talk about chocolate.
They learn from Oprah instead.
I refuse to say Oprah. No. I still call her opera.
Opera.
It's opera. There's no Oprah. Opera.
I've got to go to the opera.
It's an Oprah Winfrey. Is what it is.
Wait, so what if you said to someone, "Hey, I've got some tickets to go see the opera"?
The opera.
and then it was actually
Took them
Oprah.
to Oprah.
That would be
actually much
that would
more
be a
exciting.
cunning ruse, is what
You
that would
might
be.
leave with like a free car. You don't know.
Yeah.
And you get a car.
Or
I've never watched it. Is that what
bees! Bees! More bees!
Do you get free stuff? I've never watched it before.
She has a, she doesn't have a show anymore, but when she did have a show, she did
Wasn't
a show
it the last
called
episode of a
Favorite
show or
Things.
whatever?
And
That she
once a
gave
year,
everyone in
give
the
away-
audience a car,
yeah,
right?
She'd give away all the shit that she liked, and she'd give it to people. And one year she gave away a car, but the problem was cars have taxes, and so people got these great cars. And they're like, "Yeah, you owe like $5,000 in taxes now." People were like, "What?"
Yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
why
man.
if you ever win a car, just sell the car.
Sell
You're
the
better,
car, yeah.
better off selling
Sell the
it
car.
immediately.
Don't keep
Yeah.
it.
Need a car.
Indeed. I noticed actually, Jesse, you play Metal Gear a little different to me. Like, I actually never ever dodge. I specifically parry everything, and you do a lot of dodge maneuvers.
I do. I learned. I think it's called offensive defense is the
Yes,
ability.
yeah, you
where
can do dodging in
where
that
you-
game.
whatever the two bottom buttons are, but you
Yeah.
like hit those and you back off, and I just like doing that a lot more because the guys will swing at you and you just whoop 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 whoop, you jump around and then you can go in and attack them again.
Yeah.
And the parry mechanic, and people, of course, the internet's full of assholes who think they know how to do everything.
Well, naturally.
But the parry mechanic is legitimately dysfunctional. If you are, so if a guy is attacking you and you see the little red light go on and he's about to attack, you need to parry relative to where the camera angle is, not
Yes.
just where he is.
Yeah.
So you have to. There's these one guys in the sewer that are these big monkey guys, and they jump in the air and they jump around in the air and then they come down at you from an angle. You have to hit them at the exact angle not only they are coming from, but the camera's angled at too at the time. So sometimes the exact same attack will have different ways to parry it.
I
And
don't
you
know
have to get it
personally had a problem with
perfectly.
that, but I can
It is
definitely
a-
understand
it's
why
a-
some would.
It's a giant pain in the ass sometimes.
Are you playing with
Many
controller
times-
or keyboard and mouse?
controller?
Okay.
Many times it works great. Sometimes it just screws you over.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're moving, the problem that I have is since I move a lot, when you're moving, they do that. Being able to pull it off at the same time is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I have to stop and then be like, all right, I know where you're at now, and I'll block it.
Yeah.
But then they have that like depending on where you time it, and so you have like a block while they attack. You can time it and then they get knocked back. But if you're already parried or blocking, they just hit you and you're like, you take no damage. There's a whole level of just, it's a pain. It's a pain in the butt. But you know
I've
what?
had no real
I
problems with
lived.
blocking, but I can definitely see why some people would. And I just love doing that blocking and then just following up with a flurry of death. It's just really fantastic.
If you guys and I you know I love to whore out all my stuff. But if you want to see something amazing,
XP1,
just go-
M13.
just
That's it,
Just
yeah.
go watch I think it's episode 6 or whatever. It's just called like Raiden versus Mistral. And it is the Mistral boss fight. If you want to see like what the game's about, just watch that boss
good
fight
boss
and
fight.
be blown away. It's like is a legitimately cool moment. We're just like, holy shit, this game's great. And it just keeps getting better. So I don't want to spoil nothing, but it's fantastic. It's a fantastic game, guys. It's fantastic. And it's really not that. People are like, it's pretty difficult, Jesse. It's not that hard. It's just you can make easy mistakes to get your ass kicked. But even in the last episode, I met these like basically T-Rex guys in the sewers, and I fought them, and I thought I was getting my ass kicked, and it was like A rating. I was like, oh, okay.
That's
Certainly.
my favorite feeling in the world when I'm playing a game and I'm like, I'm doing so badly, and then it's like, you did dope.
And they'll punish you for that later. Platinum will not let you get S ranks at all if you screw up. Like, it's not going to happen.
The
But
S rank you can get is if you get it perfect time and take no damage. It's like
I believe so,
S
yeah.
rank. I was like, oh, well, I've gotten a few of those. I feel really good about it, but
S rank is
most of
pretty
the
great.
time, yeah. And then I found a great way to cheat the game, but I didn't do it on the playthrough. But there's one area, if you go into your menu to customize your character, it restarts you at the previous checkpoint. So there's this one area where you can get a 5,000 BP, which is like what you use to customize, increase, plus all the other enemies that are there. And so you can make like 10,000 in that area. So if you get 10,000 and then go to the customize screen, then go back, you can go get another 10,000, go to the customize screen, go back, and keep going and going and going and going until basically you've maxed out your character, should you decide to do that. It's real cheap, but I was like, guys, I'm just letting you know. If I wasn't playing this game for you, I would have done that. But I'm doing this for you, so we're just gonna move on. But I want everyone to know I would have cheated.
How many times did you do it before you said?
Oh, well, luckily enough, the internet bitched and moaned because I said, like, I beat the level and I was like, yeah, I found all these secrets and stuff. Is great. And they're like, you missed 3 major secrets, Jesse. So I went back and played the first chapter off camera and got like another 60,000 BP just for playing it, plus the secrets. And I was like, nice. And then I came back and was like, yeah, do you notice there's 60,000? That's your fault, guys. Made that happen.
It's like I messed up once in my last Blood Bowl game, and people flipped tables.
Oh, don't even.
Just
Blood Bowl and Hearthstone have the biggest percentage of backseat gamers that I've ever seen. Hearthstone's got to the point where I just will not read the comment section of a Hearthstone video anymore. Like, there may be some good advice in there, but everything else is so fucking insufferable that I don't want to be anywhere near it anymore. I literally stopped doing my Legendaries deck because people were fucking backseat gaming the Legendaries deck. Something specifically designed to play dumb games, not to win, and they were fucking backseat gaming it because like, oh, but if you do this and do this, like, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to have fun, what's wrong with you?
And a lot of fun. Time, you're a professional, TB. This is our job.
Yeah. It's getting worse as well because I'm getting a lot better at Arena, and right now I'm 7-2 with a rogue deck, which is a pretty good ratio. You know, 7 wins, 2 losses. That's not too bad. Last video I went 6-1, which is an 83% win ratio. That's like, yeah, guys, I'm sure that when I go to the comment section, they'll be really positive about the improvement and the really good ratio. Nope. I cringed. I threw myself at the screen. I destroyed my cat. You know,
so much butt clench.
I'm just like, oh, fuck you.
That's why my favorite is I created the Jesse Cox strategy of Hearthstone, where from now on all I do is I random deck. I pick. Usually it's Warlock now, because Warlock you can at least get the chance to get whatever the demon's name is. My brain just died.
Jiraxxus?
Jiraxxus, thank you. At least you have the chance to get Jiraxxus, which can save you. But if you random deck, no one can say shit because they don't even know what's going to happen. You just hide that portion of the screen, you randomize your deck, and you're like, all right, I'm going to play with these cards, and I get what I get. And so no one can be like, your strategy was awful, Jesse.
Oh, they can. They can. I actually did the random deck thing, and I did it on stream, and I've got a sudden death rule for it, whereas I let them vote on the class. I'll make the random deck.
Oh, well, there's your problem. Don't let them have any say.
As soon as the random deck loses, I delete the deck and make a new one. And it's very, very difficult, because the decks that they make are just awful most of the time.
Yes.
But you could still make misplays with that, and they will still nail you to the wall as a result of you doing that. And it's very hard to figure out because you've never played the deck before. You have no experience in the deck. Some of the synergies are maybe not so obvious, assuming that they have any at all. But if you make those mistakes, then you will get nailed to the wall. And
the biggest problem, though, is if you're in the moment and you're playing a game like that, you're not only thinking, what card can I play now, but you're also thinking, what card is that other person going to play to counter what I'm about to do? And at least that's
and you
what I'm
also
all the time.
are trying to commentate and be entertaining.
Yeah, and there's so many things going on that you totally do miss obvious things.
Oh,
when
yeah,
you look
totally.
back in a video and you're like even videos of stupid games like Metal Gear, I'll look back in the video as I'm like putting it together to render, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Me alive for this. Oh my god, they're gonna email it. And I'm like, F it, I can't do anything about it now. Just go. Let's render it.
Yeah. Pretty almost every time I make a video, I have that feeling. I watch it back and I'm like, oh no.
Anything that involves focus on my gameplay and not on like critique, I think I can get away with it mostly with WTF is. People are like, just don't do LPs anymore. I don't do Let's Plays. You can't Let's Play a competitive multiplayer game. But
Blood Bowl's the worst because, especially in our tournament, once that game is done, we can't change it. Like, what happened, happened.
You can't
you
go
just
back,
have to just
man.
nut up and just put it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a game where it's even worse because there's a massive RNG element, but there's also a procedural element, and also you're doing it in 40 seconds while commentating. It's fucking hard. Like, if anyone thinks that's easy, try it yourself and see how well you do with 40-second turns. Because I've made moves that are just like, why did I do that? And
every move I make,
yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, because I already panic when I play games. So like playing with 40-second rounds and like talking to the other person and just like, I'm halflings.
And half of it is like, do you make a risky move because it's quicker than like properly going.
Yeah.
That's actually a factor, because in the 4-minute turns, you could plan out the moves. So you go like 1 square, 1 square, 1 square. So you're avoiding as many tackle zones as possible. In this game, if you actually do that, then you use so much time that you might not be able to move your other guys. So it's more often than not, especially as like a stunty team like me, to actually take the risk of running multiple tackle zones than to actually tactically avoid them. So
if you make it to the end of your turn without any turnovers, you did really well.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, you won't be able to. Like, people praise me if I manage just to move all the people on my team in one turn. That's how bad it is.
It's really hard.
That's what it's come down to. Just moving people.
You
move
to be fair,
moved everyone.
40 seconds
So well
is
done.
ridiculous, and it's Cyanide's fault for only putting in 3 choices. It's like 40 seconds, 2 minutes, or 4 minutes. 2 minutes is too long, 4 minutes is way too long, 40 seconds is too short. It's like, why can't you let's custom define it? Because, it's one of the many things that is wrong with Cyanide Blood Bowl, and hopefully will be fixed in Blood Bowl 2. But,
Yeah.
Amen.
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl, yeah. I think my game against Quill goes up today. You're gonna see some fucking rage. I can guarantee that.
I haven't played my
Jesse,
game
do
against
you
Wolves
like
yet.
Blood Bowl, Jesse?
I'm not a fan of Blood Bowl. I don't. It's for the reasons you just mentioned. That's why I'm not a fan.
To be fair, though, Jesse, like, you made no effort to learn that game at all. And it wasn't even RNG that fucked you over. You just made bad decisions.
Are you sure
I
it's
will-
not just like
I will-
mad because bad?
No,
Is that what
it's
you're suffering from?
I mean, yes, the game is bad. I agree, but I think that I am more. I want them to reintroduce. What was the game with the monsters? It was like
Mutant League Football?
yes, like NFL Blitz, but with
There was a
Oh,
Kickstarter for that,
yeah.
wasn't there?
Fantastic.
Did that actually succeed?
Yeah, I
or
was
not?
gonna say we talked about that on the podcast
Yeah.
not too long ago.
I'm gonna
want
look at the
that.
Kickstarter right
I
now and
played
see if it
that in a
actually
heartbeat.
succeeded.
because I feel because the
Nope,
problem I
it didn't.
like the game is very. It's right up like Force. I'm trying to think of some of the other guys out there who are very strategical in their.
That's
like,
hilarious, considering Force is getting obliterated right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be in.
But I mean, the reason why they're like 4-minute turns, it's stuff for like him, and because those guys are the ones who are just like, all right, I'm gonna factor every single possible move I can make, and then I'm gonna take my time to.
You're talking about
that's what
Side
it's
Strafe here. Side Strafe is
so-
actually the
Side
reason
Strafe-
we're playing
poor
40
Side
second turns.
Strafe, God.
It's like, don't get me wrong, but my God, his turns took like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, and I feel like sides like all those guys. I think the 40 seconds are that's a screw you over kind of moment for people like that. But I think the game is designed for those people. I'm not that person. If you watch how I play Hearthstone or how I play, I'm like, oh, this card looks good, and I don't even think, I'm like, boop, done. And then I realize like, oh shit, I probably should have done this and this first. Like, look, I'm a doer, not a thinker. I need people to think for me. Then
I
I'll
can
make
relate.
it happen. That's how
I
it
can
works.
relate to that.
You tell
What
me
you're
what
saying,
to do, I'll
Jesse,
make it happen.
you abide by the rules of nature.
Yes.
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 Indeed.
You tell me what to do, I'll make sure it gets done. That's how I work.
Are you your
And-
own master now, Jesse?
No. Look, applications, send them in. I need some sort of master. Just tell me what to do, I'll make it happen.
He is a soul that can't be cut.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
an untamed spirit. He's just yeah.
I'm making some just lovely obscure references to the
hurricane.
soundtrack of
It's
Metal Gear.
just
here. It's
guys, this
great.
bird
Need-
you cannot cage. You cannot cage.
During the break, just Can't Be Tamed by Miley Cyrus.
Things that
Watch
I
for
will
it,
not
guys.
play on this show include
Don't worry, guys, it'll happen.
Oh,
I can't be tamed. I can't be tamed. It's gonna happen. I believe.
That's not even a song. That's just
That-
that's
that-
half a sentence and then a whine. That's
Song.
really it.
sounded like
I can't be tamed.
This podcast is no longer available due to a copyright claim by Universal Music Group.
when you go to the zoo, you go to like the bird cage area, and you hear that one bird that's like, that's Dodger. You're
No,
like
it's
you're like a
it's
bird of
Miley.
paradise.
It'll look a lot like me, but it's actually Miley.
If she's saying she can't be tamed, why is she in a cage in the video?
Because she breaks out of the cage, Sam.
But evidently she was previously tamed.
She was tamed at some point.
in the in the
cage.
past. Yeah.
She was
Quick.
okay at the beginning of the music video. She's in a cage, and she's at a zoo and they're trying to show her off to all these people, and she breaks out of the cage and all of the people who are all sophisticated turn into other bird people. I haven't watched this video in a long time. This might all be fake.
I'm sure you weren't eating lots of drugs.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that all Miley Cyrus videos are very on the nose? Like, there's nothing subtle about them.
No,
like,
that's all.
If she's talking about coming in like a wrecking ball, that girl is riding a fucking wrecking ball.
She's actually on a wrecking ball.
Accept the metaphors, damn it!
If you can't, she's like, look, my audience really doesn't get
complicated things.
I mean, she was Hannah. She was Hannah for so long, you know. Like, she's just used to the kids.
I guess so. All right, I think it's probably about time to break a take. That sounds like a good idea. We're gonna break a take.
Break a take.
And when we come back,
that Kit Kat bar.
This message brought to you by XB1M13. We'll be right back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional Podcast.
Oh, good. You guys didn't hear Sam threatening my life.
Oh, okay. He's gone to America for like a day and already he's
guys.
It
was over carrots too. I just want to let you know. Wow. Sam is violent.
Wow.
Violent. He was like,
wow.
Listen up. Don't eat my carrots. I will kill you. That's what it was like. It was really awkward for all of us.
It was more like Bane out of Batman than how you did it. But like it was similar.
I want you. Wait, hold on.
Carrots, I will kill you.
Oh, carrot. I can't even do it without a cup. God damn it.
Guys. Stop it. Stop it with the Bane. I'm eating all the carrots. And
the Bane thing is, you might as well be pulling out some why so serious shit if you want to be that topical. You know, you want to make any Titanic references while you're going to be super on point today?
Here's the thing we actually did, not 10 minutes ago. While talking about the movie Pompeii, I made Titanic references.
That's true.
So, there you go,
I never see the point of watching those movies. Like, you know what the ending is already.
Yeah.
I call them trailer films, where you see the whole film in the trailer and then there's no point going.
Yeah, or you could just read a history book and it's the same thing.
And then you get the worst ones, like in Predators, where their trailer, at the end of the trailer, he gets hit by like 25 laser sights. And I was like, oh my god, there's going to be like 25
Lots
Predators
of
in this film.
Yeah.
And there's one. One.
Spoiler!
And that part of the trailer wasn't even in the film. They made it up. It was fake.
I don't know if I hate the fake stuff. Like, I think that as long as it doesn't go too far away. But there is that disappointment when there's that fake scene in the trailer and then that stuff never happens. And then you're like, oh, I was looking forward to seeing the rest of that scene. And then you never see it. And that basically is false advertising. Let's be honest.
Yep. There's a movie coming out that I don't know what it's called. It comes out on Valentine's Day, so it's an obvious like date movie. But it's about a guy in the past and how he gets killed and he's in the future. Needless to say, it's what's his face? I mean, Bruges is in it. That
Colin
actor.
Farrell?
Yeah. And so it's like a love story, but the problem is that the trailer, when you saw it in the movie theater, literally it was a 3-minute long trailer that showed you beginning, middle, and end of the movie. And it was like, why would anyone go see this now? Like, it gave away the twist. The twist is that he ends up in the future. It gives it away in the trailer, like, oh yeah, no, he doesn't die though. He is in the future, and then he finds new love. So that's the story.
It's really strange. Like, trailers for a long time have been like just ruining the films, and it's getting extremely annoying to the point where I deliberately show up late to a movie if I go and see it at the cinema because I want to avoid the trailers.
I used to love trailers.
See a trailer.
Like, I still love them, but...
You know why you used to love them? Because they always started, in a world.
Yeah, anything that starts with in a world is going to be amazing. Yeah. But they've gone away from that now, and it's not as fun anymore. Because
they show more clips from... If you watch old trailers like they come on Blu-ray or whatever, you see like how they used to be, and there'd be a guy talking, they'd show you like maybe 2 or 3 scenes, and that was it.
Yeah.
Right now it's like, let's include all the characters talking so we can explain the story. It's like, no, you're ruining everything. I actually was pissed and then realized how much I enjoyed it. The trailer for Interstellar that literally tells
didn't tell you a damn
like,
thing. Yeah.
You know what? At first I hated you, but now I want to watch your movie because I don't know what the fuck it's about.
Yeah, it's particularly bad with comedy movies because usually they just throw the funniest scenes in the trailers. Like, well, that's not funny the second time. Sorry. It's like doing trailers for a fucking stand-up show, you know?
Yeah. I really like the ones that like just don't have any voiceover and they just have it start with like a huge bassy note, like.
Well, that's
and then
because
they just
that's Inception. It's like boom.
Inception, yeah.
That is overdone and it's getting on my nerves.
But I mean,
now.
like, then they just show you like 3 action clips and then a date pops up on the screen and then you're like, cool.
Yeah.
Although the new trailer for the new 300 movie is just the sexiest thing in the world. I know the movie will probably suck, but that trailer is fantastic to watch. You're like, God damn.
How dare you? That movie.
I love the fact that they showed what happened a couple of seconds after the end of the last one. And what was kind of cool about it is that it also makes it clear that the whole movie of 300 was actually more of a kind of dramatic retelling by the guy who lost his eye. So as a result, it's like, hang on, how accurate was this? And that's kind of neat. So I want to go see the follow-up, but it's probably going to be awful. Let's
it probably won't be great, but I like everything they do stylized with. Like, I like those stylized movies that just look that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it. They just feel like it's very cool. Even if it sucks, you're like, that was a fucking cool movie.
Shit, I'm not great, guys. I really want it to be good.
I also really love, like, in books or movies, the idea of an unreliable narrator. And I like them being really obvious with that.
Oh, you will love, in that case, playing a game called Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Because the entire narrative is based on the idea of an unreliable narrator. It's fantastic. Really well put together.
I will say, continue to say, one of my favorite movies is The Usual Suspects. Fantastic film. Where it's Kevin Spacey's Oscar-winning performance. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. If you haven't seen it, Dodger, you need to see it. The ending alone
is coming.
The ending alone is worth the price of admission. It is brilliant. It's a brilliant movie.
Interesting.
Usual Suspects, great mystery. Go watch it.
Let's do some news, shall we? Something recently, I say recently, just came out like in the last few minutes, which is it's an addition to a story that's already kind of going on at the moment. So,
Stupid.
The ridiculous part of the story that was making the rounds on Reddit over the last couple of days is that King.com, the developers of Candy Crush, have been trying to trademark the term candy.
Candy. What are they thinking? It's so dumb.
Yeah. And the way the trademark works, I'll give you kind of my basic rundown of it, and bear in mind my knowledge of trademark law is years old and I've forgotten most of it from uni, but basically it goes down to this, right? It's about protecting the value that your brand has and also protecting consumers from the confusion that comes from brands that are too similar, right? So like, say you're Coca-Cola, right? That's your brand. People have a certain level of expectation from Coca-Cola. It's going to taste a certain way. It's going to look a certain way. It's kind of like the seal of quality, I suppose, of that very popular drink. Someone else can't come around and try and impersonate that and confuse to the point where it can confuse the average consumer as to whose it was, because then that inadvertently damages that, and it also it kind of rides the coattails of someone else's work, which is not particularly fair.
I mean, they failed to trademark the word cola.
Yes, they did.
Candy Crush.
Yeah, I mean, they did. Yeah, I mean, they failed to trademark the word cola, and as a result, everyone can use the term cola, but they can't use Coca. They can't use Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But they did. But other things that are trademarked are the way they look, like that red and white color. Yeah. Like, you can't make your patterns like that. There are many things you can trademark.
It's not just the name at all. It's way beyond that. It's just every aspect of what makes that brand identifiable can be trademarked as long as it's not super generic. And when they do it, though, they trademark it in such a way that, let's say you made a car, right? You built a car that had similar colors to the Coke can. Trademarks would not kick in at that point because no one is going to confuse that for a Coca-Cola car. Yeah. So it applies very specifically to that particular brand. With Coca-Cola, it's probably a bit more wide-ranging because they do a lot of different stuff, but it's mostly the drink and the design on the can and the design in the ads and things like that. However, King.com is looking to try and trademark the word candy. In fact, last year in February, King filed an application to trademark the word candy across this is according to Gama Sutra, a broad range of products from shower caps to computer games. Shower caps, of all things.
I like how they obviously they couldn't go near actual candy. So they've surely like an actual candy company could just go to Candy Crush and be like, we're going to sue you because your stuff in your game is based off the stuff we make and sell.
The thing is, that's very...
Some kids might try and eat their phone thinking that you are selling legitimate sweets.
It's a bit more difficult because in the case of this, they're trying to trademark it in terms of computer games, which is a really, really bad thing. Now, on January the 15th this year, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office actually approved that trademark for publication.
Yeah, that's the part that blows my mind.
That they
were
actually allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything with the word candy in it potentially has that problem. Now, what's going really, really odd at this point is that in 2011, November 2011, King actually applied for a trademark to the word saga, and this is leading into what we're about to be talking into. However, it was suspended on a technicality, and apparently the King.com is actually not a US company, so they had to do it in a different way. But it would appear...
Really? Not US, huh?
Yeah, so it would appear that they don't have the trademark on that, and like it would be frankly absurd if they did, because even though trademarks are very limited, they're like limited to the country specifically and all that kind of stuff. You have to get a different trademark for each region. It only applies very specifically to certain things. But you remember the whole Elder Scrolls and Scrolls thing? It's like that, only far fucking worse. Yeah, it was. This is even dumber though, because as it turns out, Stoic, the guys behind the Banner Saga, have attempted to register the trademark for the Banner Saga, as you would. 2 days before the kind of opposition period, because companies get the chance to oppose the trademark on the basis that they own something similar. 2 days before that expired, King.com puts in a notice of opposition, claiming that, in fact, no, they have the trademark to Saga. Banner Saga is too similar to their stuff, which includes, they actually have, by the looks of it, a mark. Well, I don't know if they have that mark, but they registered the actual filing date of it on the word Saga. Then they have Bubble Saga, Bubble Witch Saga, Mahjong Saga, Puzzle Saga, Hoop de Loop Saga, Candy Crush Saga, and so on and so forth.
Hoop de Loop Saga? That game's a shit, dog.
Word.
Word.
Yeah. So they're basically opposing the registration of this trademark, and they did it 2 days before the opposition date had finished. And, I mean, obviously, like, it's a massive dick move. And apparently they've already been, like, as some developers that have the word candy in the name of their thing have already been getting messages from Apple about the trademark. So they are aggressively
are applying to put their apps on iOS and are getting notices back being like, oh, sorry, your game has the word candy in it.
Well,
which is hilarious considering the amount of, knockoff ads that Apple actually let through onto iOS. I mean, that is just... that takes the cake.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be clear that there is a distinct line here, though. Like, using the word saga is like trademarking that. I mean, that's insane. That's literally an insane thing to do. And the connection between the Banner Saga and the Hoop Saga, or whatever the hell the thing is called, is insane. Like, Saga has been like, you can't trademark that. Candy, even that's insane. But at least with Candy, I can understand where they're coming from, kind of, because since Candy Crush's rise to popularity, there have been so many knockoff games that look similar and want to be like want to get the audience like, oh yeah, no, we're the same game. Like, there's a lot of that out there.
Well, that's iOS in a nutshell. But to be fair, that's what Candy Crush ripped off a bunch of other games to be popular, though.
And that's what I was going to say.
Candy Crush is nothing but fucking Bejeweled, you know?
And you can see how, like, them as a company, they're like, oh, well, these assholes are trying to take our market share. And you can understand where they're coming from. But is it right? Not necessarily.
They just wind up looking like idiots. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, the general population who reads about this is like, really?
The problem is the general population won't read about it. Like, the people that play Candy Crush are filthy casuals, right? So, filthy casuals don't read Gama Sutra and NeoGAF and things like that. They're not gonna ever know about this. This is the same thing with Zynga. Like, thankfully, Zynga became so incredibly dumb that they ended up killing themselves more so than anything else. But all the stuff that Zynga was doing with Dream Heights versus Tiny Tower and all that kind of stuff, they were just blatantly ripping off games. They got away with that for the most part because the people that play those kind of games don't read gaming news sites to find out that this is happening.
What are like the repercussions? Say like Banner Saga, the cease and desist goes through. Like, would that affect them in any way?
Well, they would literally have to change their name. Like, if there was a successful opposition to the trademark, because with trademarks you have to aggressively defend it. Like, if you don't, and you're not shown to be defending your trademark, you can actually lose it. So that's the problem with trademark law, and that's what results in a lot of this stuff. Like, the Bethesda thing, you can almost almost understand on a legal point, because they're like, we've got to defend the trademark because we might lose it, even though Scrolls is very clearly, no one would confuse Scrolls with Elder Scrolls. Yeah. And in my opinion, no one would confuse the Banner Saga, a game which is not on iOS, I might add, with Candy Crush Saga. No one is going to confuse that.
I've never even heard it referred to as Candy Crush Saga, ever.
Apparently Candy Crush Saga is like the latest version of it. And they've done a bunch of other Saga games.
I mean, even then, like, people who play Candy Crush Saga don't call it Candy Crush Saga. So it's
they just call it Candy Crush.
They don't use the Saga to market it. It's just...
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah,
it has no value.
Yeah, it's really fucking horrible that this is actually happening.
That would be like an author trying to trademark the word trilogy.
Yes, yeah. It's like Saga is a generic term. I think that's probably what it's going to come down to. Yeah.
That's
it's also
so dumb.
Like Saga has existed in video games way before Candy Crush.
Yeah.
It existed in life way before.
Well, yeah. Why do you think the Banner Saga was called a saga? Because a saga was a Viking fucking long story. Of course it's called Saga. It's a game about Vikings.
Yeah.
And the problem is that there's so many different ways to interpret. Like a lawyer, copyright guys, and be like, no, here's how we want to interpret it for our business, and that's what we'll get through. They're like, oh, okay, we see your point of view, and then all of a sudden they can screw with everyone now because one aspect of the word saga, they're like, oh no, you're right, you convinced us, which is unfortunate because that's the way it works, and that's how people get screwed. That's why hearing that Coca-Cola doesn't own cola is, I'm like, really, they don't? Because I figured they would have. Because that's
well, I mean, if they did, then RC Cola couldn't exist, and the UK has got massive numbers of brands that are just like store brand colas.
Every store has its own brand of cola.
Cola, yeah, but they call it cola. They can't call it Coke.
You would have to assume that cola existed before Coke. Like the term cola probably existed before Coca-Cola.
I don't know about that.
I don't think it did.
I don't think it did, actually. I don't know the history of Coca-Cola all the way back there. I only know that
Coca-Cola wasn't called Coca-Cola originally. It was called something completely different.
But the word cola, where does that come from?
Cola, yeah, actually, apparently it was invented by John Pemberton.
Cola nuts.
1886 seems to be.
So probably, I feel like there's got to be either a historical basis for it, or there's so many people who already have it that to take legal action against them all would be fruitless and insane. So,
well, I mean, that's what's probably going to end up happening. The hope is, the problem is this is going to cost Stoic money, yeah? Because they've got to actually fight this thing, which is just ridiculous. And there's actual ongoing litigation involving this. Like, it's a big company, King.com, coming down on a tiny indie that just managed to release their game through Kickstarter, and then fucking them over royally. Which is, why, as far as I'm concerned, it's a dick move. They will most likely win. Yeah, if Stoic has the money to fight it, they will win it. Because, like, from my perspective, knowing a bit about UK trademark law, there's no way this sticks unless your judge is a goddamn idiot. But I think that the fact that they're even doing it is disgusting. Because they know exactly what they're fucking doing. They know that they're being overly aggressive with this. Mm-hmm. They're basically being bullies. It's really as simple as that.
You got that Candy Crush money, dog. Can't fight that.
Yeah, they're just like, they're rolling.
Yeah.
They're rolling in guineas. Is that what they call? No, Lambos is what they call them, huh?
Yeah, possibly.
You should start calling them guineas.
Yeah. The question is, really, and this is something I don't know from a legal standpoint, is because this is an opposition to the registration of the trademark, not an actual full-on lawsuit as far as I'm aware, what does Stoic have to do? Like, this is going to hold up the trademark, which really sucks for them, but what do they have to do? Will they actually have to go to court over this? Because I think that's if it just ends up being a waste of time, it's a dick move, but at least it didn't damage the company. If it ends up going to court, that's a whole fucking different kettle of fish, where that could literally sink a company like Stoic, who are not a big company. There's like 3 of them.
Coca-Cola invented the word cola.
Yeah, they did, in 1886.
Because they thought it would look good for advertising if it had 2 C's in the name.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They are actually credited with popularization of the term, so...
There you go.
Which is strange because they didn't trademark it, but they got Coke,
Yeah, so the only possible reason they couldn't trademark cola is because it was so prevalent in modern culture and language.
Yeah.
That there's so many people who were using it that they couldn't Which,
Yeah, there's a rule basically for, it's called like generic, basically the term's so generic and ubiquitous that you can't trademark it.
Like
it's like pie.
It became a word for like fizzy pop, carbonated drinks.
Yeah.
It became a slang term, so they couldn't trademark it.
It's amusingly kind of their own fault. You know, it's like try trademark the term pie. You can't do that, you know.
Then how can you trademark candy and saga? Like, that makes no sense.
You can do it in the context of something else. Like, the way that it works is that you can't trademark candy, but you can trademark candy in theory and fucking hope that they don't let them do this in the context of video games. Like,
well, then can I make a game called and trademark cola?
You can make a game called I'm gonna cut out when I'm about to say the game name.
Can I make a name called like, yes, you probably could, actually.
What is going? God, Time Warner Cable! You are the shittiest shit. Anyway, I was saying,
if you're not on business class, bro, I'm sorry.
Could I make
class.
a game called Cola Game and get away with a trademark then?
Yeah, because cola. You can make a game called Coca Game.
I mean,
Coca Game.
Maybe this is getting into territory that like we don't personally have enough knowledge to actually deal with.
Yeah.
And as I said, my legal knowledge is so far out of date and rusty, it's really hard to, to say where it's going. But one way or the other, it's definitely a dick move. I want to see how this develops, and my hope is that it gets dealt with. But it's just kind of hilarious that now Apple spring into action and start, sending us like, oh, you can't call your game this. Like, you have allowed this culture to happen for years. Like, the iOS market is the most in the world, out of any game market, the most derivative. Like, there are whole-scale rip-offs of pretty much every popular game on that. And most of your popular games have been rip-offs of other popular games.
Which are then covered in Viagra ads.
Pretty much.
On free-to-play platforms.
Absolutely. And monetize within our purchases.
Just me?
I don't get those, no.
Okay.
I think it's just you, yeah. I mean, it's based on your search terms, by the way, Sam. So
is it?
Yeah.
True.
That's kind of customized to you as a person.
Must be my nephew, Charlie, just pressing buttons on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pressing away.
That was absolutely why.
Idiot.
What a dick. What a horrible person. But yeah, King.com are a bunch of knob ends, basically. That's the current news with that. If you didn't already know, yes, people that make casual games are often dicks. They really are. Those companies get...
They do always turn out to be assholes, don't they?
It's because
it makes
they
me
don't
sad.
do it because they love games. They do it because they
want to make
as a
money.
money-making platform.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like, the people that develop these titles, they are very much prepackaged form-fit games that are very specifically designed to appeal to one kind of wide demographic, using proven mechanics that already work, and then designed to milk as much money out of you as humanly possible.
Here's our platform. Here's our pay-to-win model.
Yeah.
Here's our pay for the game if you don't want any ads. And then here's us suing everyone who tries to do anything similar.
Yeah, and the thing is that usually, sometimes these companies start out really, really small, then they have one hit, they blow up, they hire a bunch of people in, they lose their vision, and then they kind of drown themselves in money, and suddenly, they don't know how to handle it. And we've seen it before.
Oh, that sounds awful.
That sounds like Candy Crush.
Worst. Yeah. Sounds so bad. If I was drowning in money, I would...
How terrible.
You would accept. You would breathe it in.
Would you drown though? Like in DuckTales, he just swims through coins, and I just think how much would that hurt? That would hurt so much.
You would break your neck. Dive into those coins. There's a realistic intro to
Family Guy's
DuckTales.
made that joke.
I can't remember.
Guy's made that joke as a cutscene.
Oh, okay.
It's been done.
I don't watch Family Guy. I'm cool.
Yeah, was it Family Guy that did it? Yeah, it was definitely someone that did it.
He breaks all of his bones.
Well, he just dies, doesn't he? Like he dives in, breaks his neck, and then like the will wasn't properly written, and then the kids get kicked out on the street and start prostituting themselves, and that's how it ends up being.
Scrooge McDuck?
Really?
Yeah.
First off, he never really owned those. Like, he owned those kids. He never really owned those kids.
I don't know, the amount of money maybe he did own those kids. Yeah, it must have been Family Guy did it.
Nephews. They were his nephews.
Maybe he's their legal... He must be their legal guardian, though. They're always there. Maybe
College Humor, yes.
Because he's loaded.
I think more than one thing's done it. I'm pretty sure the one that I saw was actually the College Humor one, where they just, like, fully redid the intro. Well, that was 2 seconds of press R to continue, counting stacks. Great.
That was about $5.
Look at all this.
Just onesies. I saw them in my drawer, and I was like,
You made it drizzle. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I was about to say that wasn't even.
I made it drizzle really good.
Apparently. Let's
that's
move
like when
on,
someone talks
shall
to
we?
you and they spit a little bit. That's like, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah.
So when they
move on.
spit money.
Yeah. Say it, don't spray it.
Shall I do it again?
All right. So,
Let's do it again.
Alienware have said with their Steam machine that they will be... Oh, covered. God damn it. Always the wrong screen. Alienware have said that they will be releasing new Steam machines every year. And they have also stated that there will be some configurations available when you purchase it. However, if you actually want to customize your Alienware Steam machine, like change the graphics card out or put in a new CPU, you would be better off with the standard Alienware 51. This particular product is restricted in its upgrade options.
I think it's interesting and kind of funny at the same time that they're like, look, if you want more options, just get a PC. Like,
It's like even they don't believe in the concept.
They agree with me. Alienware, us nerds agree that Steam machines are dumb. Just get a PC and make a you can play your Steam games there, dummy. Get a controller.
Is way cheaper
Get a
than
$6 controller. Yeah,
Wait,
It is a
well,
bit cheaper. Like, well, they're talking about the Steam machines being, because this is trusted reviews, so it's in pounds. What, 429 quid? I think is the price.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not bad. No.
It's about $700, $650.
Yeah.
I the only way I can think that they would do this, and I assume it's what makes sense business-wise, is because it's so cheap, and they see, like, some people, I guarantee some people are looking at this like, oh, this is a threat to X, or this hurts us Y. Really. And I feel like what they're doing is they're saying, we're only going to sell certain versions of this because we want you to keep buying stuff from us. And if we sell you this cheap stuff, you're not buying our expensive computers, which cuts back on that market, and you screw us that way. And so, I mean, I don't know if that's accurate, but I know that's what they're thinking. And that's why they're saying it's kind of like Apple with an iPhone. We're going to release a new one every year, and the people who want the best will buy it. And then the other people will see that their friends have the best, and they'll get jealous, and they'll go out and buy it.
But
and that's their
hilariously,
strategy.
It's the point where they already have technology for a good console, but they hold it back. And they put out a worse console, so you buy it, so they have some stuff.
Here's what's hilarious about it, though. The idea of buying, like, the new iPhone is, like, that's the peak of phones, like, in the eyes of many people, you know? It's pretty much, it's not actually the peak. Like, there are better phones than that, more powerful ones, but it's pretty close to being the peak, and it's well marketed to be like, the iPhone is the phone, right? But in this case, this isn't the case. This isn't the peak of PC gaming. This is actually the rock fucking bottom of PC gaming. It's a cheap machine that you can't upgrade, that is going to be redone every single year, and it's going to be more out of date than a console will. Like, in 6 years' time, you'll still be able to play all the Xbox One games on the Xbox One, right? But you will not be able to play all PC games on this thing. Because technology just moves faster. It's not, and PC games are not as well optimized.
But I think the if you're looking at a marketing standpoint, if you take something like iBuyPower or CyberPower, the guys who had the really cool looking ones, they will have one launch. They will have a launch of the Steam machine, and then you can make one, you can upgrade and do whatever.
Well, we don't know that, yo. We don't know that at all.
Well, but just in theory, they will have one launch. Alienware saying we can have a launch every year. So every year we can have commercials, and every year we can promote a new product that everyone else, oh, their machine's still a year old. Sure, you can upgrade it, but ours is a new product, guys. And every year they can say we have something brand new to show you guys. And every year they can come out with new ads and new things like it's the 2014 model and the 2015. And that shit sells. It works. Even though it's insane and you're wasting your money, it still works and people buy it. It's simple marketing. I disagree with them entirely. I think this is really stupid. But if they're a business and they want to run like a business, that's that Dell money. That's what they're doing. They're like, we are going to market this the best way we can. It's stupid as shit, but it's marketing genius.
I don't know. I can see plenty of people going for the option where it has regular upgrades than going for the option where they have to constantly buy a new console every year.
Here's the thing,
that
though.
does the same thing that isn't like...
But the kind of people that would do that wouldn't buy a Steam machine in the first place.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
That's where the real problem is. You know, I like the idea of having a little box that goes into my TV. That's cool. But if I want to do the streaming thing, I am better off with an NVIDIA Shield by the sounds of it. That already has good working streaming technology that is getting better every update. And it's also a portable console as well, so it does more than one thing. And I know it will work because I don't need Linux games on this thing. I just need to stream it from my computer, which already has NVIDIA cards in it, so it's ideal for me. Or if I just want to play PC games on my TV and don't want to stream, I'll just plug my fucking laptop in. And someone that already has a decent laptop is not going to be concerned about that either. So we get kind of back to Jesse's point there of, who is it kind of aimed at. And honestly, the idea of buying one of these things every year is kind of a joke. And one of the things that Alienware said is the amazing thing about Steam is that you won't have to repurchase your games. If you update your hardware, your games will still be there and work. Well, yeah, of course they would be. They'd still be there and work if I bought an Xbox One every year as well. That logic does not work. You can't say, oh, well, if you bought an Xbox One and your 360 games don't work, say, yes, but the 360 was 8 years ago. Not every year, But
I mean, that's what advertising is, right? Is taking things that have always been true and making them sound new and interesting and useful.
But who are you fooling? The guy that goes to trustedreviews.com is not going to be fooled by that.
The difference between an Xbox 360 and Xbox One is like hugely considerable and enough for people to go, okay, I'm going to splash out more money. But like it coming out every year, it's not going to be any different.
We come back to my point that I made weeks ago. Who is this for? I still don't know who the target audience is. Because TB, you're saying who would fall for this, and I agree. And you're like, the people who go to this website or this website, but those people already either have a PC that they're using or they have a console. Like, I don't know. It's like they're targeting an audience of people who don't play games, but
those people aren't even going to know what it is.
They're targeting a novelty audience. They're targeting an audience of people that love Steam, and then we're like, oh, I like Steam so much.
It comes in a box with a companion cube on it, and it's like, which is funny enough, it doesn't.
It's novelty. It's not like people.
But then
I'm never going to buy
it. Why are so many companies throwing so much money into it?
Well, Steam is so big.
Well, Valve and PC
are really good at making money.
Well, also Valve is PC, right? If you're trying to sell a gaming PC, then working with Valve is in your best interests because people who are buying that gaming PC are almost all going to be using Steam. Everyone.
It's true.
You want to make money, and Valve say, "Hey, come make money with us."
Well, yeah, pretty much.
They're taking the chance.
You got me an idiot to say no.
Yeah, this has a Wii vibe all over it. I'm telling you, I feel it deep in my soul. I feel it like there's so much hype for something that I do not fundamentally understand. As a gamer, I don't.
Okay,
get
all right. I've got a counter argument. I've been thinking about this for the last 10 minutes to actually come up with a counter argument, which indicates, by the way, how doubtful I am about this product that I had to think that long. But here's the thing. All right, let's compare it to car leasing. So there are quite a few people that they don't own a car, they lease one, right? And these lease programs, basically, they give you a fleet car for a year, or even 6 months, and then they upgrade you kind of to another car a year in, right? And they never own that car, and they pay monthly for it. But that is actually quite popular. That's something that quite a few people do.
Can I add something to that? There's actually, I mean, the car I've had, it's a 2002, so it's old as balls. Relatively. I know someone out there's like, my car's from 1976. Relatively, guys.
We had to pedal ours and just shovel a bit of coal in the steam boiler. There we go.
But I go into the rules of, until the car dies, there's no point to get a new one. But I was talking, and since I, like many of us on the YouTube space, have our own business now, right, for tax reasons, it's actually better to lease a car because you can write it all off.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, when I get another car, I'll just lease one because I can write it all off because it's business expenses. Like there's certain situations where that works. I can understand there's certain situations where getting a Steam box it works really well. But like in reality, most people don't lease cars. Many, many people buy cars, and many people buy used cars. And that's actually one of the most popular markets. So I feel like, yes, there will be a small group of people that will love the Steam box, but is it enough to make it a justifiable? Like, the money they're throwing at this is for a market that doesn't exist.
All right, here's another scenario. So Alienware is saying, we're going to do a new one every year. But do you really need a new one every year? Could you do that every 2 years? Let's think about this for a second. Let's take the leasing argument again and how much it costs to lease a car every month. So the Steam box is going to be about $500 from Alienware, okay? So you divide 500 by 12, which gives you 41.6 a month, right? $41 a month. Now, divide that by 2 again. Let's say, all right, I'm going to get a new Steam box every 2 years. $20 a month for PC gaming with one of these things. Now, can you not argue that maybe if you don't want to drop $6,000 on a PC, that maybe that, and you don't really want to worry about upgrading or anything like that, you just want to buy a box that you know is going to work for about 2 years, then replace it 2 years down the road, is $20 a month for that not actually fairly reasonable and affordable? Would that not actually work for some people?
Right.
I think that's actually correct. I think that's what they're going for.
I think if they marketed it as $20 a month, it would be a lot different to them saying, pay us a flat £500 every year.
Every year, yeah.
If they said to you, this works out as you are paying $20 a month, and, you know, at the end
they
of
could do like
2 years, you can just upgrade to the next console.
I got this right. Here you go. They do like a kind of lease-to-own program on these things where after 2 years you send your old Steam box back. They can then refurb it with the new parts, save some money, and you get a bit of that discount. And then they send you the new Steam box every 2 years or whatever. A program like that, like, I can see some people getting in on that. They don't want the hassle. Maybe they also like get a level of support from Alienware. I don't know what Alienware support's like, but you know,
it's Dell support. So
we do like Adobe. Adobe, you can pay monthly.
Oh, Creative Cloud. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah,
like, it was much better than
pay monthly for forever.
Yeah, we just did that.
Free updates.
Because we used to buy the Adobe stuff, and it was like, oh shit, like it's a really big impact. It's like, oh, we've got to drop like $2,000 this month on Adobe software. That's a bit expensive. We actually switched over to Creative Cloud, and it's fantastic. You know, I just took the Creative Cloud of stuff that I use, and I think Chris has actually got more of them because he uses stuff like Photoshop and a bit of After Effects and Illustrator, but I only use Premiere. And I still use my old version of Audition because I'm a cranky old bastard and will never upgrade ever. And it's like, costs me something like $15 or $20 a month for Premiere Creative Cloud Edition. And I'm like, you know what? This is fine. This works really well.
I know so many small YouTubers and artists that, you know, are happy to pay $15 a month for all their software.
Oh, absolutely.
Couldn't afford to shell out $2,000.
Yeah.
2000, you know?
It's actually a much better system for YouTubers because let's be honest, like a bunch of YouTubers pirated Vegas and pirated Premiere and Photoshop.
Oh, yeah.
It's rampant. Yeah, but you know, if you make it affordable on a monthly basis, sure, I don't actually own the software, but I actually don't give a shit if I own the software. That's fine. That doesn't actually matter to me. But I don't know. I mean, maybe you could make that argument, but it's not being marketed that way right now. It's not being marketed as kind of a lease-to-own thing, and you replace this every 2 years. You can play the latest games on it. It's got some nice functionality. It's got a good form factor. You don't have to worry about upgrades. We'll give you a level of support with it. That's the kind of thing that I can see some people being interested in.
Or even like, you know, you've spent this much on Steam this year. We're going to, you know, give you a percentage off your console because you spend so much on games or just stuff like that.
Hey, I said that from the start. Like, if you give a Steam box a permanent discount on Steam, then that is alone enough to sell that fucking thing. You know?
Yeah. We could be so rich, guys, if we just...
I can't fundamentally, I still have so many problems, and I can't even express them because every time I think of one, I'm just like...
overwhelmed by all the other ones.
Yes, and I can't. I just stumble over how many things I think is wrong with the Steam box, and I just don't understand. Because I don't.
The controller's good though.
I want to play with the controller.
Good.
That's the only thing I'm interested in.
Yeah.
We may have news that Trump's Steam box right now for nerds on the internet.
Oh, really? What's that?
Yes. I believe right now the Hearthstone beta is open.
Yeah, Hearthstone beta just opened.
Oh.
As soon as I get off this call, I'm gonna go on Arena and I'm gonna get some gold. It's gonna be great.
Don't feed
much
TB.
fresh meat.
Don't feed TB. Don't do it.
Give me that money. All right.
Millions of noobs in Arena just
12-0, the dream. It's gonna be wonderful. 12-0 every day. Can't wait for it. I actually will need to stock up some Hearthstone stuff because I haven't mentioned this to people, but on Saturday I'm flying to Miami because for the last year we've been planning to go on a cruise. A very specific cruise.
Aww.
You say and then you don't know what the name of the cruise is. The name of this cruise is 70,000 tons of metal. It is 40 metal bands for 5 days on a big fucking cruise ship with nothing but... Yes, very, constant concerts. It is nothing but, concerts and drinking and concerts and more drinking for 5 days.
And TV playing
That
Hearthstone.
sounds awesome.
I can't play Hearthstone on a boat. There's no internet there. What the hell's wrong with you?
Like, I don't know anything about it. I don't know about boats.
So I'm leaving on the 26th, and
That sounds fantastic.
I should be back on the 31st. Yeah, we found out about this like over a year ago. We've been saving up all the time because this is like a once in a lifetime kind of thing that you get to do. There's all sorts of great bands. There's I don't know if any of you'll even know any of them. Carcass is playing, Dark Tranquillity's playing, Death, Fear Factory, Fintroll, Freedom Call, Hate Sphere.
I know Fintroll.
You know Fintroll. There you go. That's one.
I do know Fintroll because
Yeah.
they made a song.
Soilwork.
And I used it for my Jesse is Bad at Arena for World of Warcraft. I used one
Fintroll
of their
is so
songs.
good. I love
I used an
Fintroll.
8-bit version. Fintroll, I know them.
Yeah.
The rest
ready
I've
for that copyright strike.
Yeah. Oh no, Nuclear
8-bit
Blast are actually.
version.
Yeah, they're on the. If I recall correctly, on the Nuclear Blast label, they're usually pretty cool about that stuff. But Satiricon's playing, Swashbuckle is playing. We're gonna have some pirate metal. It's gonna be brilliant.
Swashbuckle, yes.
They wear pirate hats and they play pirate metal. It's the best. There's all sorts of bands. There's like 40 bands in total. They have yet to announce the last 3. But I'm going on that at the end of the month. So I'm going to have to stock up a bit of Hearthstone so that people can actually have something to watch during the time. I don't think Encephirum is on that. I wish they were.
I love these band names. I just like how one's just called Death.
Death. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Death's been
I
around
know.
for ages.
Where's Death?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Hey, if you want fun, you should look up black metal band logos because they go out of their way to make them unfucking readable. Like they are so ridiculous in terms of the logo. You need to look up some of them.
I imagine them backstage is like that scene in I think either the first or second Wayne's World, where they go to the concert and they're backstage and everyone's like a history buff and they're all sitting around like drinking tea, but they're all like makeup and I was like, I imagine that's what it's like. They're not really just like, they're like, oh yes, no. I was reading lately that the political strife of women in Uganda is very difficult, and I want it to be that. I want it to be that.
It's like reading a book and he turns the page and then the drummer comes in. He's like, we're on in 5. And he's like, okay. And he shuts the book. And then he just like, and then he just grabs the mascara and just lines on his
That'd be
face.
wonderful.
Yeah.
There might be a live goat eaten on stage. That's a possibility.
What?
I'm kidding. Yes, so that's where we're actually going at the end of the month. That's kind of going to be our kind of once-in-a-lifetime thing that we do. But I'll be stocking Hearthstone up, and it's going to be great, because I'm going to farm some noobs. That'll be awesome. Looking forward to it.
But now everybody knows your secret. Now everybody knows that when you're successful in those videos, it's just because
I farm noobs.
You're farming. Because you're farming.
Noobs.
I mean, it doesn't matter because there's still going to be someone in the comment section that's going to find fault.
Oh, of course they will. It's like,
so.
Well, yeah.
well, I know you went 12-0, but there was this suboptimal play in Game 10 that I really feel was like, shut up! Now's a good time to go to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about releases and possibly other things. You're watching the Co-optional Podcast. Don't go anywhere.
It's okay, buddy.
It is. Very much so.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm reading NeoGAF's forums, and there's things on here
I'm
that's like, I just got a Wii U. How do I use it? And I'm just like, you don't.
It's weird
first off,
because actually getting access to NeoGAF is quite difficult. You know, they only really let people in like once every 6 months. When you register, you don't actually get to post for ages. So it's a very restricted forum, and yet you still get some quite silly comments from time to time.
So maybe that post is from 6 months ago, and he's been waiting
Ever since for
6
someone to
months
answer.
to tell everyone he had a Wii U.
That's
the Wii
possible.
U's just sitting there, and there's dust all over
like,
it. And he's like, oh.
Yeah.
I just
And
want to
in
use
that
it so
time-
bad.
2 next-gen consoles have come out,
Yeah.
and suddenly his post is just redundant and sad.
It's a possibility.
How do I use it? Like, oh, you dummy.
Ugh. Indeed. All right, I suppose we could do releases. And amusingly enough, I realized that you guys don't actually have a release list because the guy that usually does it, i.e. Chris, was in the sky, like, during this show. He's now finally back in Romania, by the way, so...
Aww.
Oh, Chris.
Aww.
Wish him a speedy recovery.
Yes, quite. I'm going to see if I can get the release list. I'm like, where
Are we
does
going to try to find a release?
Yeah, it's like, where does
Oh.
he usually get it from?
Let me go ahead and read this release list.
I'm pretty sure he lifts
I
it from
want him to just
Giant
make
Bomb.
stuff up.
Actually.
That'd be amazing. If it's
I
just like,
I have my own personal
Oh.
release list called Google. So I'm just getting it.
Bunny
I found it.
Capture Attack is coming out today.
Yes, I have a better release list than Dodgers very clearly here, so it's okay. I found one we could use. This is what happens when I don't have my research support, because, like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Alright. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Okay.
New games.
New games. Yeah. From January the 19th onwards. Go Dodger!
Oh, God, wait. Okay, from January
19th.
19th.
Yes.
There it is. All right. Kickbeat Steam Edition.
Yes.
Comes out on the 20th for PC.
Do you want to know what that is?
Yeah.
It's a great game.
It's a game that confused the shit out of me. I tried to play this on the stream, and I physically couldn't. Like, I just could not do it.
What was the problem?
Everyone knows my brain's fucking wired in a really terrible way. Like, it's fucked for various reasons. And
TB is fucked for various reasons.
I am fucked for various reasons, guys. You know. But whatever the case, it really confused me. The way that the game works is it's kind of like a rhythm game, right? In fact, it is a rhythm game. And the point is that you are kind of a martial artist in the middle of this whole thing. And you have to fight off all of these dudes, of course. And you have to do it with the rhythm. And you do it by pressing, like, four buttons, basically.
Right.
But the guys are sort of moving around you, sort of one at a time. And I got so confused by what was on the screen that I just could not keep the rhythm. I found it impossible. It was
interesting.
It was a nightmare. And I know there are some people that can play it, but I absolutely cannot. I'll show you a bit of footage here from a channel called Master World HD, so thank you for that. I believe this is sort of the tutorial, showing you exactly kind of what goes on. So the guys kind of circle around you, and then you punch them. And you punch them at the right time, into the rhythm with the music. And the soundtrack for this game is actually a bit crazy. They've got stuff like Marilyn Manson in there. They've got Cell Dweller. They've got a couple of... They've got POD in there, of all people. Which is like, wow, why would you... What is this? And then they have, in the Steam Edition, 6 tracks from from Electronic Superjoy.
Right.
Which is kind of...
This looks super cool, though.
It is. I think it would be, by the looks of it. But I physically can't do it. My brain just melts when I try. I get really confused with all the movement around the outside, and I can't keep the rhythm up, and I lose. And what's worse is, the harder difficulty levels, it doesn't even show you the color you're supposed to be hitting. So it's really, really confusing.
Weird.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it, but apparently it's pretty good. The soundtrack is, I would say, mostly good. I mean, I'm not into POD and Cell Dweller, you know. That's like kind of 90s new metal nonsense, but... Yeah, the Electronic Superjoy stuff is really, really good. And there's a few tracks in there that are worth doing. There's like Pendulum is in there, which is... I imagine that the cost to actually license that music must have been quite high. But yeah, Kickbeat, the Steam Edition, which contains Electronic Superjoy tracks. So that makes it better.
It looks fun. It does look good.
It looks really fun to me, yeah.
You should try it and then try commentating while you're doing it. I bet you won't be able to.
Okay, I'll try it.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Challenge accepted.
Try it.
Do it to the Electronic Superjoy music, because you'd like to keep your channel, like, uncopyright claimed, so...
True.
Yeah.
On January 21st for PlayStation Network Vita, Ollie Ollie is coming out.
2D skating game, inspired by Tony Hawk, is what that is. It's got randomly generated levels, 5 different gameplay modes, and lots of different tricks, like 100 different kinds of tricks. That, I think I'll just... If it's even close to Tony Hawk, I want that game. Right now.
I never played... I know so many people that love Tony Hawk games, and I've never been into them.
I don't give a fuck about skateboarding. I love Tony Hawk. It's so good.
It's not even about skateboarding.
Yeah. Because I'm a Superman. That soundtrack.
I have that CD signed, by the way. Goldfinger, what up? Have that CD signed.
Bad Religion was in there as well, wasn't it?
90s. 90s, baby. Can I just say, for the record, that as much as I like that, also today, Lucifer Ring, a PS1 import, is out. I think the big release today is Chess 2.
Yes, Chess 2.
Sequel. Chess 2
Can I
sequel.
Can I just say, like the way they're selling this game, it blows my mind, because they're basically saying that they're fixing all the problems with the original.
What?
They're like The gameplay unifies all that is great about chess with aspects from modern game design while fixing problems in the original that have long frustrated grandmasters and amateurs alike.
Oh god, it's David Serlin that is involved in making this, isn't it? Yeah.
The picture is like a chess piece in a hooded cloak.
It's the queen.
It's like,
Oh, sorry, the Ouya video made some disturbing noises here. I'm going to show you this is the trailer for Chess 2, the sequel, only for Ouya. It is more like chess than chess, Kotaku. Shut the fuck up, Kotaku!
I don't understand. It's insane.
They have different armies, apparently. Do they have different effects?
More like chess than chess.
I mean, it does take a certain degree of arrogance. I mean, even from someone like David Serlin, who has done some really good writings and has actually designed some quite interesting card and board games, to say we are gonna improve chess, like that,
right? Like it's a game that's been around forever, and they're like, no, we've made it better. Really?
I like how many people are making the exact same joke in the comment section too, being like, "Yeah, the queen needs to be nerfed." So imba.
Yeah.
The description is the sequel to chess. No, not the video game. A sequel to chess itself.
Oh.
Yes.
That Kotaku quote makes me want to go over to the
caps.
Kotaku offices and set them on fire. I'm sorry. That is
Just
the
that
most.
one? This is the breaking point?
Yeah, this is the breaking point.
Years ago?
Like, the years of their cosplay bullshit and clickbaiting, this is the one. This one quote.
London's Burning 2, the sequel, TB's Revenge.
So
it's more London than London, Kotaku.
Yeah.
The basic gist
burning
of this, there are now
Like
6
Skyrim
armies
guns.
to choose from rather than just one.
Yeah.
So there are 21 possible matchups, so you can no longer learn moves, is what I guess they're saying is the point. So each army has different abilities.
Yeah. Wait, I mean, don't get me wrong, that sounds interesting, but I don't know, maybe just it's the way that's marketed that's rubbing me the wrong way. Because there's some variants of chess that I like. There was a long time ago, there was an online game before we actually had real online games called Kung Fu Chess, which was chess in real time. All the chess pieces had a cooldown on them, and they all had a move speed. So basically, you moved everything at once, and then you had a cooldown before you could move that piece again, and you could intercept pieces on the way, and it made kung fu noises every time you successfully intercepted someone. That was fucking great. It even had a 4-player mode. But I don't know about this.
I would love a game that showed me how to play 3D chess. You know, when it has like multiple boards.
Yeah, but like Star Trek chess?
I was going to say, that's actually a thing from Star Trek.
Yeah, that's a real thing. It's an actual thing.
People made rules for it, yeah.
I want to... Oh, man. Just...
That's chess 2. That's what that is.
That's
chess
the real
3.
chess 2.
That's chess 3-D.
Oh.
Oh, come on, get out of here.
Get out of here. Go home.
He's more stripping than stripping. Get
out of here.
Yes.
I'm going to make this a thing. I'm going to run this into the ground over the next couple of weeks.
I'm going to get an email from Kotaku in a minute offering me a job.
Probably pays better than Maker Studios, am I right?
Your one-liner.
Hey!
Join us.
You heard that joke you told.
I love how all three of you are staying like really quiet. It's like, we don't want to get fired. Anyway, continue, shall we? Chess revengeance. I love it. Just like randomly, you move a pawn and there's like, rules of nature! Just in the middle of nowhere, and then this giant mech comes out, stomps on the board, the pawn just leaps into the air, spins around, punches it in the fucking throat. That's chess revengeance.
Yeah.
Chess revengeance. You can slice pieces in half and they become different pieces.
Oh my god. Two princesses.
They're all just Matryoshka dolls. You cut them and then like other pieces fly out and attack you.
I love it.
Okay, so also on January 22nd for PC is Insurgency 2. Lots of sequels happening.
Yes, Insurgency is a tactical multiplayer shooter. You die quite fast in that game. I played a very early alpha of it a long time ago with the devs. It seemed pretty cool. It's a sequel to the Insurgency mod. That was it was actually one of the first like big mods for Half-Life 2 when Half-Life 2 modding wasn't really a thing. So that's where that came from. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
Wait, so is Insurgency 2 is this like modern?
Insurgency 2 is a proper sequel to it, like it's a standalone. So it's actually something they're going to sell, whereas Insurgency was a mod. So it's one of those games.
Okay.
It's modern military tactical shooter. It's got a degree of realism on it in it. It's hard to really like say this is what differentiates it from everything else because there's quite a few games that do that. So yeah, I'll wait. Once it actually comes out, I'm gonna have a look at it.
Word.
That's coming out this week.
Last on our list for this week is Mighty Bomb Jack.
For the
January
Wii U.
23rd for the Wii U.
Ah, thank God, the Wii U is saved. We were waiting for this game for the longest time.
We were waiting for Mighty Bomb Jack. Collect all the bombs to exit the level, but watch out for enemies.
Whoa, innovation! Holy shit, my mind is blown.
Enemies!
Yeah, we should point out, by the way, that this was...
Demon with Jack.
First released on April 24th, 1986.
Yes, it is a virtual console game. So
you actually can't do anything except dodge the enemies. Also,
you really can't. Really? Oh, so you collect bombs and dodge them. You have bombs.
You collect bombs
Yeah.
and you dodge enemies.
Why? You have fucking bombs.
I'd rather collect enemies and dodge bombs. To be honest.
Yeah,
that'd be
interesting.
Magic. But
Collect enemies. You're like,
to be fair,
come with me, and they're like, okay.
I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna blow your mind. Blowing your mind right here. There is
Okay.
a game about collecting enemies. Pokemon.
Whoa.
See that? Yeah, that was your mind being blown. Other formats that Mighty Bomb Jack is being released on include the Amiga, the Atari ST, and the Commodore 64. So, there you go.
Wow.
There you go. And apparently there's a parrot involved.
Wow, that's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Obviously.
It's good to know.
Pirate elements,
Yep. That is true.
And that's it. That's all the games ever coming out this week.
Yeah, I think there might be a couple more on Steam that they might have missed.
Apparently,
actually,
there's a PC game
they
coming
didn't.
out. I just got linked to a PC game coming out on Friday the 24th. I think this is this year. Yep, Friday the 24th, called Valkyrie's Via.
What?
And the cover image is it just has a big thing that says "not safe for work." I don't know what this game is, but I am.
But you want it now.
I clicked it and it says it is a visual novel. What those things are? Like a dating sim kind of.
So it's some hentai bullshit then.
Yeah, it must be. It must be
Right.
because I've never seen anything where it's just like we can't even show you pictures from this game.
Lovely.
That is a good game right there.
Indeed.
Dodger, you should play that one.
I know, right? I was talking with somebody. A love sim was suggested to me, but then they were like, well, you might not want to actually play that game on your channel because you'll have to literally bleep out everything, censor everything.
You gotta be really careful about that shit. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Who
was the channel that got nuked recently? Oh, it was. Oh, yeah, I remember it because I actually helped him out. Is that Millie B, I believe, was doing. I think it was Katawa. How do you pronounce that one? The one that 4chan made.
Katawa Shoujo?
There you go. Yes.
That's what they said.
Katawi Soda.
Okay.
Yes, that game. And
Katawi Soda.
Yeah, and apparently, like he edited out all of the sex scenes and stuff like that. But there was because of one of his transitions on Premiere, there was a tiny fraction of a frame that had one in there, and his entire channel got nuked into the ground as a result of that. Like, the whole thing got shut down. So you gotta be super careful.
Wow.
Apparently, anime
on
boobs.
My channell, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anime boobs is apparently a breaking
way
point.
Back in the day, when we first started this podcast, that someone sent me a game, and I think it was called Sengoku Rants or something like that.
Oh God, no! Oh,
and
yeah,
I was
I've heard of that.
I was like, oh shit, so it's like you like build armies and you fight and you take over Japan? This is great. And so I started playing it and I was like really into it, and you make like armies of soldiers and you battle. You have this great, but then when you take over the different parts of Japan, you bang just women. I was like,
oh no.
I didn't see this coming at all. And I was like, but I'm in.
Yeah.
This is a great game. And I beat it and it was fantastic. So
Yeah,
if you don't mind a little porn in your strategy games,
fucking Japan. This is why we can't trust Japan to make PC games. They just put anime
this is
porn
so
in all
funny.
of them.
I was like, what is going on right now? Like, why am... Oh, go on.
Yeah.
I think the first one of those sorts of games, like a dating sim or love sim-ish game that I played, was accidental on Newgrounds. Like, I was just on Newgrounds, just like
everyone's had that experience on Newgrounds.
Playing games, just playing games, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna click on a random game, and it was like, you're a dude who's trying to, get used to life in high school. And I was like, okay, that sounds boring, but I'll play it anyway. So quickly, I was banging ladies in a closet. And I was like, this is not what I would expect.
That's what high school's about. Banging ladies in closets. You just, you know.
I like that one, Jesse.
I mean, that's high school. That's American high school.
Yeah. There weren't ladies in those closets. You know it. You and I both know it.
Sam, I made you wear that wig for a reason.
As I said, this is the couples edition of the show.
Hearthstone EU actually doesn't have open beta. It's just US.
Yeah, it's in a few days. They're bringing it out to EU apparently.
So if you're European, you are better, but you must wait.
Yeah, it's a fairly common thing. I believe it's to do with their currency systems. I've actually heard quite a bit from Blizzard lately about that. Everyone's asking whenever Hearthstone came out, because it came out in the US first, like, well, why do you do that? Why do you just release it both? Because apparently there's some like currency concerns and complications with EU releases for those kind of games, which actually do cause those delays to happen.
Get on the dollar, yo.
Yeah, they want to wait till the exchange rate drops more.
I don't know.
So they can charge us even more money.
The number of games last year that were not even last year, like in the last few years, that have come out and people have been so jazzed, so excited to play them, and then the servers can't handle it and no one can play. So many. Like, if you just start in one group, make sure it's stable. And then next group, make sure
They've been careful.
The next group, make sure it's stable. They're being very careful. They don't want another
honestly,
Diablo.
Even a week
Final
ago,
Fantasy just
wants
ruined
that.
me.
Even a week ago, Hearthstone had real problems. Like, they patched it, and all the minions were constantly moving around on the board. Like, every time you played a minion, they'd swap position, which is hugely important for Hearthstone, because there's a lot of spells.
Especially as a shaman with your totems.
Or as a rogue with betrayal, and other stuff like that. Or even like you just play a Direwolf Alpha and it swaps position to the side, and, like, it doesn't buff the creatures. It's still a game that's in beta. It's still buggy. There's a reason why it's not an open release, at least until now. And it's still got problems, like, if you alt-tab too much in that game, you start losing text, which is really weird, and then, like, you actually have graphical artifacts. They still need to fix that shit. There's all sorts of problems with it, so...
But shout out to Team 5. I want everyone to remember that they said, and I quote, Jesse Cox is better at Hearthstone than TotalBiscuit, and wrote it on a poster and then all signed it. I just would like to point that out to everyone.
You sit upon a throne of lies.
Doesn't matter. It's written lies. That's in the future when we're dead. That'll still be around. People will know. People will know.
They will believe what's written.
I hate you forever.
Yeah.
We should point out, by the way, it's kind of a bit of a release and a bit of news thing that Resident Evil 4 is coming out again on PC, which is a little weird considering it's already been out once. They're making an HD remake of it, which one assumes is also coming to consoles. And apparently they're saying, oh, it's going to run at a smooth 60 frames per second for the first time. It's like, oh yeah, great, proper. Optimized for widescreen. Texts have been sharpened, apparently. And textures have been upgraded on characters, backgrounds, and in-game objects. Native keyboard and mouse support with customizable key binding, mouse sensitivity, and mouse acceleration settings.
Whoa, you can customize your key bindings? My mind can't. Wow.
Yeah, I can't imagine such a world where that would be possible.
I get so irritated when, like, games get ported to
feature.
PC and they're like, these are the buttons, deal with it.
It's like looking at a list of features on a bottle of milk that says you can open the milk. Like, this is required.
Look, my hands are too small to be using the wads and have to hit that freaking control key all the time. I can't reach it. Stop it.
Gotta rebind.
Let me fix that. Oh my god, I get so angry.
Yeah. We'll see what this remake is. I gotta say, though, they're probably gonna release this and say, oh yeah, you bought the previous Resident Evil 4 version, which was goddamn fucking awful on Steam. Yeah, we're not going to give you a discount. It's like, screw you. That's the port of Resident Evil 4 was fucking atrocious. Really bad. Yeah, it was one of Capcom's first real console ports to PC, and it was terrible. Along with Devil May Cry 3, which was also terrible. They got better at it. I'll give them credit for that. The DMC4 port was a lot better. They have released... obviously, the Street Fighter port was really good, but all of those games were also held down by Games for Windows Live, so, yeah. Even now, the last game they released on PC was Lost Planet 3, which, I mean, the game was shit to begin with, so... But they also released stuff like DuckTales Remastered, they published Remember Me, which actually was also terrible. Why are we only getting the terrible Capcom games? I'd love to know.
What do you mean? They're great. Go on. More.
They are.
Yeah. Although, I will say, they published, obviously, the new DMC. PC port, fucking fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
Pretty great.
Like,
Pretty good.
300 frames per second, runs like absolute dreams, smooth as butter, best version by far. So, I don't know, maybe I've got a bit of faith in them not to fuck this up. We'll see.
I love that game.
DMC is... I like DMC. I'll defend that game to the death. I don't care. And I'll happily say that the other DMC games had too many fucking puzzles in them.
I was disappointed that they released the HD remake of the first 3 and only put it only on Xbox.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
sad.
Yeah. I mean,
Really sad.
I wouldn't mind playing DMC3 again, but again, time jumping puzzles and bullshit like that, fuck that. The lovely thing about DMC was that the platforming was sublimely good and it was combat focused, and there were no fucking puzzles. That was happy. I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Yes,
are
Jesse.
you, are you just miming the whole time?
Are you in
I'm
pain?
just miming. I want to fill your dark soul with light. That's all. I want to fill your dark soul with light.
To be fair, they did a
That's all.
stellar job of making the dialogue in the new one even worse than that, which is incredible that they managed to pull that off.
But you know what? The new one, I was the entire time I was playing it. I loved it, but I was mad. I was mad that it wasn't old Dante. But then the ending, I was like, oh. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hello,
That's all I'm gonna
old
say.
Dante.
You ruining it. I stopped there because I didn't want to ruin it.
What,
And
you
then
can just... They have DLC, and you can just be old Dante.
That's what I'm saying, though. But at the end, it was kind of like
buy the
the
DLC.
game was kind of like a prequel-y game, kinda.
Yeah.
No, because they're
Did you
having their
not
own... They're gonna
know
have their
that
own...
before you played it?
No, I thought
Right.
I thought it was a new universe. Look, shut up! I didn't know that.
Is a new universe.
Yes, but he still
Okay.
becomes like old Dante, kinda.
No, it's
Like-
a new universe.
Yeah, but he's still
Will you guys stop? Holy shit, there are people who haven't played that game. Good damn. Ugh.
I don't have the chat screen up, so I don't get to see them. Be
Oh,
pissed off.
they're
It's
kind
amazing.
of pissed off. But
People should play it. It's amazing. It's not a prequel.
the thing is, like, at the time, that was the best spectacle fighter on PC, but now we've got Metal Gear Rising, which just kind of shits all over it. So, and funnily enough, Metal Gear Rising is not a better port than DMC.
Is
The
Metal Gear
DMC
Rising
port-
that good? Because I'll have
It
to
is
play it.
fucking
Dude,
great.
you gotta play it.
It's
Just
so
play
good.
it. It'll blow your
Yeah.
mind. It's really
It's
fun.
really great.
Okay, I'll play
If
it.
you enjoy Metal Gear style cutscenes, it is right up your alley.
Well, to be fair, the nice thing about it is they didn't
They're
overdo it with the cutscenes, but they've got just enough, and then they were right into you just murder everything with a sword, and it's great. But yeah, I quite like DMC, but it's not on the level of a platinum character action game. Absolutely not.
There's a doctor in the game who I think has a hand fetish because he's an old
Oh,
German
the German
man.
doctor, yeah.
And every time we talk to him, he's like, "Did you find me more hands?" Cut off hands. They have information. It's like,
Yeah.
you need to calm the fuck down because he's like, maybe if you look at their hands, you'll find the information. I'm like, all right then.
I absolutely.
weird.
I love the conversations with Blade Wolf that you can have by the codec. They're so cool. I absolutely love it.
There's Ludacris is in the game. It's
It's
name's
not
like Kevin
ludicrous.
Washington, but it's fucking ludicrous. It looks like Ludacris. It's Luda. He's like, "What up?" Basically, you're playing Fast and Furious 7 is what this is.
But with a
It's Fast and
samurai
Furious
sword
7.
and Metal Gears. It's kind of great.
That's what that franchise devolved into, and I hope that's what it is. I hope. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. I hope that's what that is. I hope
Do you have like Heelys on and you just race cars? Is that how it works?
you get. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I know. Look, I haven't beat the game, so I don't know, but I'm gonna say yes. I assume the end, the last 25 minutes, is you're drifting. In fact, in the opening cutscene, you run drift.
You do.
Raiden runs so fast he runs.
wow.
Yeah, he drifts around a corner. It's,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
real.
Heelys.
It's all real. Struggle.
They're in because of
Yeah.
Raiden.
And also, I'm totally fine with Metal Gear Solid Story being murdered by Metal Gear Rising, because Metal Gear Rising is a better game than any of the Metal Gear Solid games. There, I said it.
Zing!
Indeed.
I don't know about. I don't
Fuck
know.
you. Platinum can do whatever they want. Platinum can make 3 Barbie games in a row, and I'd buy every one of them.
Holy shit. Barbie
Wow.
Spectacle Fighter. I want
Damn
that
right.
more than life
Oh my god,
itself.
I play that so
Barbie
much.
Revengeance.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Just like a
What?
Killer Instinct port, and it's just different Barbies and Kens.
No, but it's like she slows down time to like punch guys, and like the ribs crack. She's like, "Ugh," and they go, and they explode. Holy shit!
She rips out the heart.
Oh, and then
eats
she
it.
eats it, and
collects
she's
it.
like,
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then
She eats
collects
the
their
heart.
little Barbie hands. She like pops them off.
I'm imagining all
Everything
sorts of
about
crazy
this-
crossovers. Like, they give they gave Metal Gear to the guys that make the Lego games, and like Lego Gear, it would
Gear.
It would be perfect.
Metal
Gear Lego.
Great. Oh my goodness.
Metal Lego.
You get to build your own Metal Gear out of Lego and ride it around. Yeah.
Oh my god.
By the way, I just want to point out: is anyone else? Look, I might be on a limb by myself here, but I kind of want to go see the Lego movie.
Yes.
I feel like I'm
Me
3
too.
years old, so I
Anyway.
want to see the Lego movie because I fucking love Legos, and I feel like I want to because it's not bullshit. It's like they're actually Legos, and I'm like, yeah. And they have the spaceman. I had the spaceman. I love the spaceman.
Look, team viewing. Let's go. We'll all go together. Support each other.
I want to see it so badly, and just it's gonna be me and like 3-year-olds and their parents, but there'll be a lot of single women there. Look, I'll be like, ladies, because look, we live in LA. There's a lot of single mothers here. I'm gonna be like, so ladies, Jesus, what happened to me? What happened to me?
What have you
So
become?
sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. I'm just.
Just to confirm what just happened, Jesse suggested going to the Lego movie in order to creep on single mothers.
Then you realize
Just want to point that out.
He's just reached a little bit too far in the hole that he's been digging of single
All I
bachelor
wanna
life.
do- All I wanted to do was make a joke, and it came off really fucking creepy. I just was like,
mean,
I'm walking away.
Fucking Jesse,
I'm
what?
walking
Oh my god, he's
away.
frozen in the same way.
I'm proud of you for walking away, though.
I tried to make a funny joke and realized it sounded a little rapey, and I was like, nope. I'm just gonna
God,
walk away from this one. Just take it off and just call it a day.
that's horrible.
It felt kind of real as well. That was
Yeah.
because you tell it good and it feels
I
real.
was just like, ladies.
I can
That's
bring
how I
up
pick
a
up women. I go
new topic.
to children's movies.
You guys want a new topic?
I've got a topic, and that's kind of we're gonna
Go
actually.
to those noon cinema showings.
I go to noon matinee cinemas to find
where you can get like a drink with the Monsters Inc. guy on it and like a small popcorn for like $5, and then you sit there and just like offer the kid popcorn.
and just watch the women while like, hey, look at you. At least she puts out, am I right?
We're going to wrap the show because I actually have to go do another one, and I also need to maybe have something to eat before I do that, because otherwise I'll probably die.
You're a fiend.
Okay.
You're a
Yeah,
fiend,
because I haven't eaten all. I had oatmeal this morning, so I had a bit of porridge, and that was it. That's all I've eaten today. So
Oh, you're like.
Dodger
How
burned
did you
bacon so
fare?
badly this morning that it nearly evaporated.
how do you even do that?
That is
like,
true. I've
cooking
burned the
bacon is maybe the
because
easiest thing.
I'm used to turkey bacon, and we bought real bacon,
Oh.
and I was
Rashers
like,
of
I'll make bacon.
this
And
big
it
ended up this big and like black.
Oh,
and just
Yeah, it was bad. It
there
was,
was nothing
and
left.
Sam was like, "Look, I'm gonna make new bacon. I'm not eating this." And I was
I'm
like,
surprised you can even
"No!"
find bacon that size in the US.
You got to go to a butcher, dog. You don't go to the store.
There is a butcher near my house.
You go. Look. To quote Wild Crendor, you go natural, man. You go straight from the hog. But although apparently there's a pig disease in the country now where pigs are getting porcine diarrhea virus.
Oh, lovely.
So they're taking bacon off the market for a little while. So
Wow.
get your bacon now, or you'll die.
And I'm going
What?
back to England. Goodbye.
Probably should.
I'm not prepared
Oh,
to not
turkey
have
bacon.
bacon.
Turkey bacon.
If you're gonna
No.
kill yourself, eat real bacon. Don't eat turkey bacon.
No.
That's not even real.
No,
It's
not
good.
turkey bacon.
Y'all crazy.
Apparently.
Y'all crazy.
All right, let's wrap the show then. It's a little early, but I think it's entirely reasonable because I say so. So, what's
There you
going to be on your channel this week, Jesse? What's coming up for you?
We are finishing up Metal Gear and Marlo Briggs because it's wonderful.
Marlo Briggs,
And then Broken Age will probably be the next thing I play because I want to play that really, really badly, and I'm going to play it very quickly so no one else on the internet. You won't have a reason to go watch anyone else. Is what I'm saying. Just watch my.
People have already beaten it. You didn't kickstart it, did you?
Hey, you know what? No, because I don't fucking kickstart games anymore.
Yeah, I've had that game
given
for
up
a
kickstarting
week,
Games.
Jesse. People have already beaten it and Let's Played it.
Doesn't
You're
matter.
too late.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, but what happens usually is people watch my video and then go watch someone else. You know what? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do it, baby.
Don't do that. Don't do that, baby. Don't do that.
Baby, come back.
That's like cheating. That's like cheating. Is what that is. That's cheating on me. Is what.
Being
And
unfaithful.
I don't. That's unfaithful. That's. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying you are a dirty whore, internet. You are a cheater, and I can no longer be with you.
Jesse.
Also, there's a video I'm gonna make live after we're done here that is literally just nonsense of Dodger and I in Belgium. I finally got around to editing it all because I couldn't.
Took a long time.
Let's just say.
Hang on, when did you go there?
December. Let's just say that it is. The reason why it took so long is because there's literally no content. Like it is the most non-content. Nothing happens. There's a bit about a statue dropping a microphone. There's me looking for what I think is a day-walking prostitute. Like it's literally nothing happening in this video.
I remember all of those moments. Yeah.
It is very, very silly. So if you want to see me find a restaurant called Food, then that's in this video.
Wonderful.
Content.
Yep.
Non-content. For the masses. For free.
Who's next?
Strippin, what are you doing? Videos.
I don't bloody know because I'm having all my gaming equipment shipped over. So
you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing.
I got Blood Bowl coming up.
All right.
Got some Chivalry, and might do some Project Spark because I've been wanting to do some Project Spark stuff.
Oh, someone actually has Windows 8. All right.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I might do a bit of that, but we'll see. But probably not that much. Go watch my old stuff. Also.
All right. Fair enough.
I started the Eddie storyline of Always Remember Me. So we finished Lawrence. You can go watch Lawrence if you're a Lawrence lover. We even got the secret ending. So now we're doing Eddie. And got Blood Bowl coming. We're back to doing normal coffee vlogs. You know, the huge over here. We drink coffee, we talk about cats, and make butt jokes. And that's what both of my channels are, really. So go ahead and subscribe on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, all the things. I am at DexBonus, DEXBONUS.
Yep.
Come hang out. The end.
This week there will be a few more WTFs before I leave on Saturday to go on this cruise thingy. I'll stockpile, most likely, some stuff, like probably Hearthstone, and maybe a couple of WTFs just to try and cover while I'm away. Obviously, I can't stockpile too much because I'm still doing my regular stuff, but might be a content patch or two this week, depending on what happened with the news. I mean, the thing that I released today is basically a content patch, just without the overlay, because Chris wasn't there to edit it, but I'm going to check that out. I also do have some more stuff coming on my StarCraft channel. That's 2 days more of Nation Wars VODs, which had 8 different European countries battling it out in a team format, which is pretty cool. Check that out, youtube.com/TotalBiscuit. And after the show, I'm actually going to be going right on over to twitch.tv/ChanmanV, which is the channel for Unfiltered, which is a StarCraft 2 show. So we're going to go and talk a little bit about my upcoming tournament project, which goes by the name of Shoutcraft Clan Wars. I'll also be making a video most likely today, maybe tomorrow, which is going to be the first What the Free we've done in a while, and that's for the Blizzard Arcade, which actually went free today, for those of you who don't know. That's all of the arcade games for StarCraft 2, and all the mods, they're entirely free to play for everybody, which is kind of huge because there's a lot of cool stuff there. So I'm going to do a roundup of that, and I'm going to show you some of my favorites.
Mafia. Cool. I love Mafia.
Oh, Mafia? Yeah. That's
so
a good
great.
One. There's some really good stuff on there that I'd like to show everybody.
Defenses only. Just all TDs. All TDs all day.
Hey, you can play Element TD on there, and it's a really, really good version of it, and it's free. So you might want to play that. It's really good.
I like the Super Smash Bros. Mod thing.
Oh, is that Smashcraft?
Smashcraft, yeah.
Smashcraft is fucking great. Not enough people play that. I will highlight that one in the video, because it actually plays a little bit like that game Bloodline Champions that came out a little while ago. Yeah. It's kind of like a 3-on-3 arena format that's really skill-based. Smashcraft is fucking awesome. It also has music from Guilty Gear in it and BlazBlue, so that makes it even better. But yeah, I would suggest that you have a look at that. So I'll be trying to show you some really, really good mods, hopefully. That's pretty much about it, folks. So thank you very much for watching. And, of course, do check out our channels. You can find them below, right there. Those are our channels underneath. Go to them. Subscribe to them if you have not already. Please do watch the videos. We need them to live. And that, I think, rounds us up, as far as I'm aware. Don't think there's anything else to talk about. No.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Fantastic. And
now get out.
Yes, we're leaving now. It is time for you to go. Goodbye.
Bye.
I probably shouldn't. Sorry, I muted you in the middle of the bye and it sounded really weird. Can we do that again? So, goodbye, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.